everyone, welcome to the video solution of your Grand Test 6 of All India Test Series on this amazing platform of Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. And I'll be your host, myself Aman Verma, Chemistry Faculty at Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. So guys, let's see quickly what are the questions that have came in your Grand Test 6 and how to approach that question and get the right answer. So without wasting much time, let us get started with the question. The first question that is over here is calculate the energy required to excite 1 liter of hydrogen gas. Volume is given as what? 1 liter at 1 atmospheric pressure. That means pressure is given as 1 atm and 298 Kelvin. That is the temperature given. To the first excited state. First excited state means what? The second level. Okay, so here first excited state simply means electron is at ground, first excited state will be the second state, okay, second level, okay, of a atomic hydrogen. The energy for the dissociation of hydrogen bond is 436 kilojoule per mole, okay. So first of all, volume is given, pressure is given, temperature is given, and the bond dissociation energy is given in what? Kilojoule per mole. So we need to convert this data into number of moles. In this 1 liter of hydrogen, how many moles of hydrogen gas is there? That we need to know. And the simple equation that we use is what? PV is equal to nRT, right? Through this we'll get number of moles as PV by RT. Pressure is 1, volume is 1, R value will be 0.082 into temperature is 298. Okay, clear? If you will solve this particular equation, you will get the value of 0.04. You will get the value of what? 0.04. Clear? Now, energy required or the bond dissociation energy is 436 kilojoule per mole. That means 436 kilojoules of energy is required to break the bonds of 1 mole of hydrogen. So for 0.04 mole, it will be X, and this X value will be equal to 436 into 0.04, right? If I'll approximate it as 4.5 into this thing as 4, you will get answer at around 18 kilojoules. Okay, so this much amount of energy is required. This is a bond dissociation energy that has been required. Okay, clear? Now, what we need to calculate is calculate the energy required to excite. That means total excitation energies need to be calculated. So, the total energy required to excite an electron, total energy required to excite an electron will be equal to, okay, will be equal to bond dissociation energy, okay, plus energy of excitation, first energy of excitation. Clear? So bond dissociation energy we have equal to what? 18 kilojoule per mole plus its energy of excitation, okay. Energy for excitation can be calculated as Rydberg constant times Planck's constant, okay, RHC into hydrogen, okay, into molecular mass of hydrogen square, okay, that is Z square. Z square is 1, so I am not writing it over here. 1 upon N1 square, so 1 square is 1, minus 1 upon N2 square, that is equal to 4, okay, into the number of moles that we have got, that is 0.04, into the Avogadro's number, that is 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 multiply by 10 raised to minus 3. Clear? Sure. You know the value of R, you know the value of H, you know the value of C. Okay. After substituting all this value, okay, the answer will come around approximately around 98 kilojoule per mole. The answer will come around what? 98 kilojoule per mole, and over here the best answer that we can select is option 1. Clear guys? Sure. So this is the first question that you might have encountered. Talking about the second question. X plus H2SO4 gives you Y, a colorless gas with irritating smell. Okay, with an irritating smell. Second, the same Y is been treated with K2Cr2O7 in the presence of acid H2SO4 to give you a green solution, but slightly colored precipitate is not formed. Please make a note of it guys. Is not formed. Okay. First thing, there are two compounds that combine with acidified potassium dichromate to give you a green color solution. Okay, that two compound is H2S. Okay, even H2S combined with acidified dichromate solution to give you a green color solution, and sulfur dioxide. Okay, but when H2S combined, it gives you green solution, but it will also give some slightly colored precipitate of sulfur. So obviously this should not be the answer. That means Y over here is SO2. Okay, Y over here is what? SO2, and what they have asked, X and Y. So this option can gone, this option can be related, and this option is also gone. Only option remain is what? 1. And to justify this thing, if I'll take sulfide ion SO3 2 minus and treat it with acid, that is H2SO4, it gives sulfur dioxide. It gives you what? Sulfur dioxide plus sulfur dioxide plus water plus sulfate ion. Clear? Sure. So yes, our answer is right, option 1 for this particular question. Clear? Sure. Next. In which of the following reaction dihydrogen act as an oxidizing agent? Oxidizing agent means what? Dihydrogen undergoes reduction, and since dihydrogen undergoes reduction, that means it will form an hydride. Okay, and the only option in which hydride is been formed is clear. Sure, where hydrogen will carry a -1 charge. So for this question, option 1 is the right answer. Clear? Next question. Find the wrong one. Please make a note of it guys. Wrong one. Okay, clear? See, diazo4 is Al2O3.H2O. This is true. This is true. B2H6, that is diboron plus ammonia, will give you this compound at 120 degrees Celsius. This is also true. Okay. Next, AlCl3 plus water will give you this complex. This is also true. Okay. Clear? B3N3H6 is a planar molecule with only non-polar bonds. Wrong. It has ionic bonds as well. Okay, not ionic, basically it has a polar bonds as well. Okay, it's an borazine, that's an inorganic benzene, so it has polar bonds as well. So we'll go with option 4. It's a wrong statement. Clear guys? Sure. Next, again wrong one. Please read it. We need to find out the wrong statement. Okay, the non-existence of PbI4, that is lead tetraiodide, is due to highly oxidizing nature of lead tetravalent ion and strong reducing nature of iodide ion. True. This statement is true. Okay. NiSiH3 thrice is a planar molecule, and this is a pyramidal molecule. Again true. It's a true statement, right? Clear? The bond order of carbon monoxide molecule is 2. This is a false statement. Very easy, you must be knowing that carbon triple bonded with oxygen is carbon monoxide. Okay, and here they are saying bond order is 2. Rather, here bond order has to be what? 3, carbon monoxide, and hence I'll go with option 3 for this. Clear? Sure. So next question. Cadmium oxide has NaCl structure with density this. The ionic radius is this of O2 minus ion. Determine the ionic radius of cadmium ion. Okay. Clear? So first of all, density, okay, density is calculated as the ratio of, first of all, the numerator will be the number of atoms, that is nothing but ranking, into molecular weight whole divided by Avogadro's number into A cube, that is nothing but volume, basically volume. So since it is a cube, we'll take it as A cube. Clear? Sure. So Z value is 4, right? Z value is 4. If you calculate the molar mass, it is 128. Avogadro's number, we know it is 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 into A cube. Okay, edge length we don't know, and this entire thing is equal to 8.27. This entire thing is equal to what? 8.27. If you'll solve this thing, you'll get edge length of around 4.68 Armstrong. You'll get edge length of what? 4.68 Armstrong. Now we need to calculate the radius of cation. Radius of an ion is given. So twice the radius of an ion plus twice the radius of cation. So radius of cation plus radius of an ion is equal to what? Twice of this thing is equal to what? Edge length, that is equal to 4.68. Okay, clear? If you solve this thing, you will get radius of cation as 1.1 Armstrong, and this radius of cation is nothing but radius of cadmium ion. So with this thing, we'll go with option 2. Okay, well, this thing will go with what? Option 2. Clear? Next, dry air was passed successively through a solution of 5 gram of solute, okay, 80 gram of water. A dry air is passed through this solution, okay, then through pure water, okay. The loss in weight of solution was 2.50 gram, loss in weight is given as this, and that of pure solvent is 0.04 grams. Clear? Sure. The molecular weight of the solute would be, okay. So guys, see here, what we need to calculate is molecular weight. Loss in weight of solution is given, loss in weight of solvent is also given. So okay, weight loss of solvent, wait a sec. Okay, weight loss of solvent is directly proportional to this, then weight loss of solution is directly proportional to this. Clear? Sure. Now if I'll take the ratio of it, okay, if I'll take the ratio of it, then what will happen? This proportionality sign will go, right? Clear? This proportionality sign will go and will become equal to, because both are what? Directly proportional, the proportionality constant can be removed, right? Acha. Since this is a division of it, weight loss of solvent is how much? Weight loss of solvent is how much? It is 2.50. The weight loss in weight of solution is this much, and that of a pure solvent is this much. So solution is, it is 0.04 solvent weight loss, and weight loss for solution is how much? 2.50, and this is nothing but mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction of solute can be calculated as number of moles of solute, which is again calculated as what? Weight of solute by molecular weight of solute by number of moles of solution. Since number of moles of solute is very less, we can easily ignore that and we can directly take number of moles of solvent, and that will be equal to weight of solvent. Let us take that thing as that, and molecular weight of solvent. Okay. Now weight of solute is given as 5 grams. We don't know molecular weight of solute. Okay. Weight of solvent is given as 80 grams. Okay, and molecular mass of solvent is how much? That is water, that is 18. Clear? Sure. Let us rearrange. So molecular mass of solute will be equal to 0. Not 0 point, wait. So this MB will come over here and the rest is like this. So 5 into 18 into 2.50. Okay, 5 into 18 into 2.50 by 80 into 0.04. Clear? Sure. If you'll solve this thing, you'll get answer something around 70. If you'll solve this thing, you'll get some answer something around what, 70, and with this thing we'll get option 1 as the right answer. Clear? Sure. Perfect. Great. Now next question. Electrode potential data is given below. So these are the electrode potential, and since they are giving electrode potential, this all is nothing but reduction potential. Standard reduction potential. Please make a note of it. Standard reduction potential means what? They can easily undergo reduction depending upon their values. Okay. Based on the data, the reducing power is. That means ability to undergo oxidation. Okay. Of this thing will be increasing in the order. They want increasing order. Okay. See, more the positive value, more easily that will undergo reduction. More the positive value, less will be the oxidation. Clear? Sure. So out of all this, can I say this can undergo reduction very easily? Maximum value, right? Standard reduction potential is maximum, right? So can I say this will undergo reduction easily, and hence it has a good oxidizing power but not the reducing power. So can I say the least reducing power is of bromine or a bromide ion, right? So first one will be bromide ion. So we have bromide ion over here, and the only case where bromide ion is there, so we can easily eliminate all this, and hence option 1 will be the right answer. Clear? Sure. Got it, guys? Perfect. Another, again, after bromide, the smaller value is this. That means after bromide, iron will, ferric will undergo reduction easily, right? That means it will create problem in oxidation. So it will be iron. See, next one is iron, and the last one is aluminium. Clear? Got it? Now, next. For a reaction, half-life varies with initial concentration as follows. So this is an initial concentration. This is a graph given to us. If the time taken for 75% completion of a reaction is 300 minutes, then the time taken to complete 25% reaction starting with the same initial concentration at the same temperature is. Okay, clear. First of all, let us assume it is a second order. Okay, first of all, let us assume it is second order. So T half, we are assuming it what as a second order, will be equal to 1 by initial concentration time, this constant. Clear? Can I write this thing as right, taking log both the side? This will be log of A into B, that is log A plus log B. Right. So can I finally rearrange into as so this is the equation if we take it as a second order. I have assumed it as a what? Second order. Clear? I have assumed it as what? As a second order. What is the graph? Log of T half by log of A naught. This is the graph, right? Sure. So if we'll see this carefully, will this this is log over here. I forgot to write. This is log over here. We are multiplying log both the side. Okay. We are multiplying what? Log both the side. Clear? Sure. So it justifies this graph. Okay. This equation justifies this graph, and hence it is a second order equation. And hence it is what? A second order equation. And for second order equation, we have rate constant K is equal to 1 by T 1 by the concentration of the reactant at any time, okay, the concentration of reactant at any time minus 1 by the concentration of reactant, that is initial one, right. So that will be K times T equal to 1 by AT minus 1 by, so at 75%, okay, at we are discussing what, at 75%, since they have said if a time taken for 75% completion of the reaction is 300 minutes, so at 75%, so can I say that it is K T, it will be 4 by AT, clear, sure, this is at 75%, but at 25%, okay, at 25% the equation will change. So at 25%, it will be 4 by 3 AT minus A naught, clear, sure. So I hope guys there is no doubt, no difficulties till now. Finally, at 25%, okay, time taken for 25% will be equal to what, 300 by 9, and 300 by 9 is approximately around 33.33, okay, clear. So 33.33 will go with option 1, got it, clear, sure, perfect. So that's question 39, sorry not 39, whatever the question is. Next, 1 gram of activated charcoal has a surface area this much, 1 gram has surface area this much. If the complete coverage is assumed, how much ammonia in centimeter cube at NTP could be adsorbed on the surface of 25 gram of charcoal? So 1 gram is this much, so obviously 25 will be 25 into 10 raised 25 into 10 raised to 3 meter square, okay. Diameter of ammonia, okay, sorry, this is NH3 molecule, is given as 0.3 nanometers, okay, clear. So first of all, total surface area, okay, 1 gram of charcoal surface area is 1000, so for 25 grams, so can I say total surface area of charcoal, okay, total surface area of charcoal will be equal to what, 25 into 10 raised to 3 meter square, that can be equal to 25 into 10 raised to 8 centimeter square, and that is equal to 2.5 into 10 raised to 9 centimeter square, clear. Is this thing clear? I guess I have done some wrong over here. 10 raised to 3 meter square is 10 raised to 4, so it is 10 raised to 7 guys, wait, this will be 10 raised to 7 and this will be 10 raised to 8, extremely sorry for that. This is 10 raised to 7 because meter square into centimeter square, meter square into centimeter square has to multiply by 10 raised to 4. So 10 raised to 4 into 10 raised to 3 is 10 raised to 7, yes, and if I convert 25 into 2.5, it is 2.5 into 10 raised to 8, clear, sure. Second, surface area covered, okay, the next thing what we need is surface area covered by 1 molecule of ammonia, okay. So surface area covered by 1 ammonia molecule will be equal to what, pi r square, pi is what, 3.14 into radius, diameter is given as 0.3, so I can take that 0.3 by 2, okay. The second thing is nanometer guys, the second thing that they have given is what, nanometer. So nanometer has to be converted into what, centimeter, so that is 10 raised to minus 7, clear, sure. And this r square, got it, Clear? If you'll solve this entire value, you will get answer as 7.07 into 10 raised to minus 16 centimeter square. Okay, 7.07 into 10 raised to minus 16 centimeter square. Clear? Sure. So first of all, one molecule of ammonia covers this much of area, this much of surface area. So total ammonia molecule, because they have considered what, if complete coverage is assumed. Okay, that means the entire charcoal is covered by what, ammonia. So how many molecules of ammonia is there? Okay, so if one ammonia molecule covers 7.07 into 10 raised to minus 16 centimeter square area, okay, then this much of, that is 2.5 into 10 raised to 8 centimeter square area will be covered by X ammonia molecules. So this X can be calculated as 2.5 into 10 raised to 8 by 7 into 10 raised to minus 16. Okay, clear? Sure. And you will get answer as 3.536 into 10 raised to 23. This much of molecule, okay, this much of molecule will be required to cover all this area. Clear? Sure. Got it. Now, since we have number of molecules, can we calculate? Okay, can we calculate this number of moles? Answer is yes. So 1 mole gives 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 molecules. How much molecules we have? 3.536 into 10 raised to 23 will be given by X. This X will be 3.536 into 10 raised to 23 whole divided by 6.023 into 10 raised to 23. It is approximately half. Okay, it is approximately half, but the actual answer you will be getting around 0.59. Okay, this is the mole. This much number of moles are required. Okay, or all this molecule that has been covering the charcoal area is equal to what? 0.59 moles of ammonia. Okay, last calculation. 1 mole of ammonia or 1 mole of any gas occupied 22 or 22400, okay, times volume. Okay, so 1 mole, again I am writing 1 mole occupied of volume, right? Clear? So if this much require, this much mole will be how much? So can I say it has to be, okay, for 0.59 mole, for 0.59 mole, can I say it will be equal to 2240 into 0.59? That is exactly half. Half of this thing is 11. So something nearby 11. Okay, something nearby 11 will be do. But since it is 0.6, it is approximately 0.6. So answer has to be more than what? 11. Answer has to be more than 11. So more than 11, we have two answers, this and this. If you solve it properly, you will get option 4, 13282.4 centimeter cube. Clear? Sure. So this is how you are going to solve this particular question. Next, which of the compound is paramagnetic in nature? Simple. For paramagnetic, what we need to know is which of the compound is anti-aromatic. Okay, clear? And anti-aromatic is this. Why? It will get shifted over here, negative, positive. Okay, 4 electron or 4 pi electron. So it becomes what? Anti-aromatic. And since it is anti-aromatic, it is paramagnetic in nature. Next, substrate which can give exactly same products during SN1 and SN2. Okay, during SN1 and what? SN2. Same product they are needed. Okay, see over here there is one chiral center. Okay, over here there is one chiral center. over here also there is another chiral center. Okay, over here also there is one chiral center. In all the options, the only place where chiral center is not there is option 4, and that's the right answer. Okay, and that's the right answer. Clear? Sure. Next, consider the following reaction sequence. Okay, we have to consider this following reaction sequence. This is given. Wait a sec. Bromine S. Acha, since it is S configuration, guys, bromine should be front and this should be back 1. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3 anti-clockwise. Yes, so hydrogen is back, so it has to be a dotted line and it's a thick line, wedge line. Okay, clear? It's in second order and OH minus ion is attacking. Okay, clear? Second order means what? SN2. Second order means what? SN2, and SN2 will give you what? Inversion of configuration. So this S will become R over here. And then SOCl2. SOCl2 will give you what? SNI. SNI means what? Retention of configuration. So even Q is what? R. Clear? Sure. So both the product P and Q should be what? R. So R, R, S, S, not the answer. R, S, not the answer. S, R, not the answer. The only option where both is R is what? Option 1. So we'll go with option 1. Clear? Okay. The increasing order of rate of HCN to the following reaction is. So basically increasing order of rate, and these are what? Carbonyl compound, and in carbonyl compound we know that aldehyde, in that is nothing but formaldehyde, is highly reactive. Okay, so increasing order means what? This should come at last. So okay, so we can eliminate this thing. Then after aldehyde, okay, after aldehyde we have ketones, so it will be this. After 1 it will be 2. Okay, after 1 it will be 2, so we can eliminate this. The least one is this. The least one is this because there are 2 withdrawing groups over here. Okay, because it's in conjugation with what? 2 benzene. So the fourth one, okay, fourth one will go with option 2. Option 3 is gone. Clear? Sure. Got it. Then next, which of the following compound cannot reduce Tollens reagent? Cannot reduce Tollens reagent. So Tollens reagent basically ketones. Ketones cannot reduce Tollens reagent, to be very specific. This is an hemiacetal of an aldehyde, so it will reduce after hydrolysis. It will give you what? Aldehyde itself, so it will reduce. This is a hemiacetal of ketones, so it will not reduce. This will reduce and this will reduce. So yes, we'll go with option 3. 1, 2 and 4 is the wrong answer. We'll go with option 3. Clear? Got it? Next. In the following reaction sequence, product R is PQ and this one will be R. We need to calculate R. Okay. First one is cold alkaline KMnO4. Cold alkaline KMnO4 is Bayer's reagent. That means it will form glycol type. Okay, vicinal diol. So we'll have this structure something like this. Okay. Then HiO4. Okay. HiO4 simply means what? You have to break the bond. Okay. HiO4 simply means what? You have to break the bond. Wait a sec. Wait a sec. This double bond should not be there. Yes. Okay. So HiO4 means what? You have to break the bond and add. Shortcut is add OH both the side. Numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Clear? Or let me draw this thing very clearly. This is a bit confusing. So let me draw this thing properly for you. Okay. So I'll draw it once again. After you add cold alkaline KMnO4, you will get structure like this. Okay. Talking about option Q, what we are adding is HiO4. HiO4 means what? You have to break and you have to add OH both the side. So this ring will get open. So number of carbon atoms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thus Second carbon atom consists of 2 OH group, that means it will get dehydrated to carbonyl compound. And the sixth one, the last one is base and heating, that means aldol condensation. Base and heating, okay, that means aldol condensation. And if you do aldol condensation, what will happen? The alpha hydrogen, okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, the alpha hydrogen will attack. So let us attack. Okay, so the number of carbon atoms, okay, the number of carbon atoms in the ring will be 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, and then it is heated as well, right? That means it will give you what? Alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, okay. So the product will be like this, okay, clear? Double bond will be over here and this is a bond. This will be the compound formed, okay. This will attack over here, it will get converted to what? OH, and then dehydration will take place, clear? So R is what? Option 1, clear? Sure. Next question. Glucose can be differentiated by lactose, okay, by Fehling solution, yes. Benedict solution, yes. Tollens reagent, yes. It cannot be differentiated by Barford reagents, so we'll go with option 4, okay. Next, which mineral has been named incorrectly? Again, fixate on the word incorrectly. Bauxite is Al2O3, true. Chalcosite is Cu2S, true. Cryolite is this, that is also true. Feldspar is this, wrong. Okay, it is not feldspar, so we'll go with option 4. Next, how many moles of AgCl would be obtained when 100 ml of 0.1 molar COCl3 NH36 is treated with excess of AgNO3? First of all, its complex will be CO NH3 6 times and then Cl3, clear? And once it is treated with silver nitrate, you will get what? 3 moles of AgCl, okay. So this is 0.1 molar, it will be how much? 3 into 0.1 molar, clear? So that is 0.3 molar. So we have molarity, okay, molarity is 0.3, okay. Number of moles will be how much? If you solve this thing, number of moles will be how much? 1, and volume is how much? 3, okay. So you will get answer as 0.03, as simple as that, clear? Sure. Or another way to solve this particular question is, see, you are going to get 3 moles of AgCl. You are going to what? 3 moles of what? AgCl. Secondly, this entire thing is present in 100 ml, molarity is this much, okay. This entire thing is present in what? 100 ml. So 0.1 mole is present in how much? 100 ml, right? So in 1000 ml, how much moles will be present? 1, clear? Sure. By that thing also you can solve this particular question, okay. So with this thing, again I am telling, we will get option as 3, clear? Got it, guys? Sure. Then next one, which compound is the most powerful bleaching agent? Answer is ozone. Most powerful bleaching agent is what? Ozone. Next, the action of bacteria on meat and fish produces a poison compound called cadaverine, okay. As its name and origin imply, it stinks. It is observed that 510 gram, that is 510 grams of it contains 300 gram of carbon, 70 gram of hydrogen, and the rest is nitrogen. Given that its molar mass is this much gram per mole, if the molecular formula of cadaverine is this, then what will be this value? Okay, first of all, it contains carbon, it contains hydrogen, and it contains nitrogen. Carbon is how much? 300. Hydrogen is 70, clear? So 370, total is 510, so that remains 140. Okay, now molecular weight of carbon is how much? 12, 1, 14. Okay, clear? What will be the moles of it? 300 by 12. Relative moles will be how much? 25 around. Then 70 by 1, that is equal to 70 itself, and then 140 by 14, that is equal to 10. Clear? So this is what? Relative number of moles. So what will be mole ratio? What will be mole ratio? The smallest one will get divided by all. Smallest one is 10. So mole ratio you will get 2.5, 0.7, or wait, 2.5, 7 and 1. Clear? Sure. So the whole number ratio, okay, whole number ratio we have to multiply it by 2, so it will give you 5, 14, 2. So what is the empirical formula over here? Empirical formula is C5 H14 N2. If you calculate empirical weight, it will be 102 gram per mole if you calculate this. Okay, if you calculate this. Clear? Sure. Now this is the empirical weight. What is the molecular weight given over here? 102, right? So molecular weight is equal to n times the empirical weight, where n is equal to what? Molecular weight, that is 102 by 102, that is equal to what? 1. Clear? Sure. So what is the value of x? What is the value of y over here? That is 14 minus x plus z. So x is 5 plus 2, that is 7. Answer will be equal to what? 7. Clear? Sure. Got it? So this question has answer 7. Clear, guys? Next, the density of a mixture of oxygen and ozone at NTP is this much. Okay, the partial pressure of ozone in the mixture under the above condition is this PO3, and this PO3 is 0.05 into Y. Then the value of Y is, okay, clear? Now the density of a mixture is equal to what? Molar mass of a mixture by 22.4. Okay, so this M mix will be equal to 1.75 into 22.4. Okay, if you solve this thing, you will get answer as around 39.2. Clear? Therefore, okay, therefore the equation will be 48 times x into is this thing clear? Sure. And over here, if you calculate this value, x will get as 0.45. You will get x as what? 0.45. Got it? Then partial pressure of ozone is equal to mole fraction times, okay, it is equal to what? Mole fraction times ozone into total pressure. So mole fraction is how much? 0.45. Okay, this is ozone, guys, wait. Okay, clear? Sure. 0.45 mole fraction. Okay, this is number of moles of ozone. Wait a sec. This is number of moles. Okay, x is equal to what? Number of moles of ozone. X is equal to what? Number of moles of ozone. And over here, what we need to calculate is mole fraction. Okay, so number of moles of ozone, that is 0.5. Clear? Sure. By 1. 0.5 by 1, and the total pressure is how much? Wait a sec. The total pressure is how much? I guess it is 1. Okay, so at above condition it is what? 1. So you will get answer as what? 0.45. You will get answer as what? 0.45. Got it? So this is equal to how much? PO3, that is partial pressure of ozone is 0.45, but they are actually wanted in the way 0.05 into Y. From this thing, if you will calculate Y value, you will get 9. Y is equal to what? 9. That is 5 9 the 45. Clear? Sure. Perfect. Next question. A diatomic gas, a diatomic ideal gas initially at 273 Kelvin is given 100 cal heat, that is 100 calories of heat, due to which system did 209 joules of work. Please make a note of it. Calories, joules. So first of all, I will convert this thing into calories. 201 by 4.18, that is you can take 4.2 also. Okay. The molar heat capacity Cm for gas for the process is Y into R, where R is nothing but ideal gas constant and you need to calculate Y. Okay. First of all, change in internal energy. Okay. Change in internal energy will be equal to what? Q plus W. Okay. Change in internal energy will be what? Q plus W. What is the heat given? Given is 100 calories plus system does the work done by the system, right? That means minus W. Okay, it will be minus W, that is minus of 201. Okay, minus of 201 by 4.18. 4 5s are 20. Okay, so basically it is around 50 times. So that is equal to 100 calories minus 50. So it will be giving you 50 calories approximately. Clear? Sure. Then change in internal energy. Let me give this thing as E. Okay. In some of the book it is E, in some of the book it is U as well. So change in internal energy, we can take it as E over here. Okay. You can also take U, no issues of that. Okay. So change in internal energy is nothing but N molar heat capacity times delta T. Clear? Sure. This is, and then the heat supplied. Okay. The heat supplied Q is equal to what? N Cm delta T. This is actually Cv. At constant volume. Okay. Clear? Sure. So if we will take the ratio, okay, if we will take the ratio of heat by internal energy, okay, if we will take the ratio of heat by internal energy, that is Q by delta E. Okay. So number of moles, and this will get cancelled and this will get cancelled. Clear? Sure. So that will be equal to Cm by clear? Sure guys. Heat is how much? 50. Okay. Heat is given how much? 100, and delta is how much? 50. Okay. So that is equal to what? Heat is 100 calories. Change in internal energy is 50 calories, and that is equal to, right? So here is this thing clear? Sure. Got it guys. So the Cm is equal to what? Twice of Cvm, and this will be equal to what? Okay, and this will be equal to what? Got it? Clear? So here Y value is 5. Okay, here Y value is what? 5. Clear? Got it? Perfect. Next, it has been found that the pH of 0.01 molar solution of an organic acid HX, okay, so organic acid is HX, is 4.15. Then the ionization constant of acid, okay, where log of 7.08 is given, is x into 10 raised to minus y. Then what will be the value of y minus x? Okay. So first of all, it's a organic acid, so it will be weak acid, so it will set up an equilibrium like HX plus X minus ion. Okay, the pH of this thing is given as what? 4.15. That means negative log of concentration of H plus ion is given. Okay, negative log of concentration of H plus ion is given. Clear? Hence, if we'll solve this equation, you will get what? Concentration of H plus ion, and concentration of H plus ion is somewhat around 7. Okay, it is somewhat around 7.08 into 10 raised to minus 5 mole per liter. Clear? Is this thing clear, guys? Sure. Since concentration of H plus ion is this, the concentration of X minus ion, okay, concentration of H plus ion is this, so obviously the concentration of X minus ion will be the same. So we can write this concentration as also same. Clear? Sure. Got it. Hence, concentration of X minus ion into concentration of H plus ion, okay, by concentration of Hx, that is nothing but acid constant, by this particular equation is equal to what? K, dissociation constant. Clear? Sure. Now, that is equal to what? Concentration of this thing is how much? 7.08 into 10 raised to minus 5 into 7.08 into 10 raised to minus 5, because the concentration of H plus ion and the concentration of concentration of X minus ion, they both are what? Same, by concentration of Hx. The concentration of Hx, that is the acid, is 0.01 molar. Okay, clear? If we solve this thing, this is 1, this is 7 7s are 49, so it is approximately equal to 5. Okay, so I'll take this thing, 7 7s are 49, so it is approximately equal to not 5, it is equal to 50. Okay, then this is 10 raised to minus 10, this is minus 2, this is minus 2, comes over here, becomes plus 2, so this and this will get cancelled. Okay, so it is 5 into 10 raised to minus 9. Clear? Sure. So it is 10 raised to minus 10, 10 raised to minus 2 goes up, which become 10 raised to minus 8, and 10 raised to minus 7, which is 5 into 10 raised to minus 7. Okay, let me calculate this thing one more time to be confirmed of. Okay, now see, 7 7s are 49, so I am considering it as 50. 10 raised to minus 5, 10 raised to minus 5 is 10 raised to minus 10. This is 10 raised to minus 2 gone up, becomes 10 raised to 2. I can cancel out this thing and make it 10 raised to 3. So it is 5 into 10 raised to minus 7. Now we have to equate this thing. So it is 5 into 10 raised to minus 7. So y value is 7 over here. X value is 5. So that is equal to 2. So the answer for this particular question is 2. Clear? Sure. Next. How many of the following substances are precipitated as hydroxides only when treated with sodium carbonate solution? Only when treated with what? Sodium carbonate solution. Okay. So first of all, this will get precipitated as ferric hydroxide, FeOH2. This will get treated. This will get precipitated as what? FeOH thrice, that is ferric and ferrous hydroxide, and the last one is manganese sulfate. Okay, clear? So according to me, the total is 3. Okay, according to me, the total number is what? 3. Clear? Next, find the total number of possible products in the following reaction. This is HBr. Okay, so you will get Br and H, and this is always at the top, right? Clear? So basically, if you will see, there are 2 chiral centers. Okay, it is what? 2 chiral centers, and 2 chiral center will give you how much isomers? 4. So how many products? There are total 4 products that are possible. Okay, how these 4 products are possible, that also we can discuss. So if you can see clearly, Okay, let us take this. There are one center. Okay, this. So this CH3 is always at the top. Okay, so one Br can be at the top or it can be at the bottom. Okay, clear? This is cis and trans, if you can see, cis and trans. Okay, they both are chiral, so +2 and +2. This is 1 + 1, 1 + 1. Clear? So total that you will get is what? 4 value. Clear? Next, find the number of compounds which are aromatic. sp3 non-aromatic, sp3 non-aromatic, aromatic, aromatic, non-planar. Okay, cyclooctatetraene, aromatic, 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 aromatic. So how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So total 7 are what? Aromatic. Clear? Next, of the following reactions, how many reactions are used for the preparation of amines? For the preparations of amine. So this is reduction of cyanide will give you amine. Okay, reduction of amide will give you amine. Hoffman bromoamide degradation gives you amine. This is sort of aldol condensation, so it will not give you amine. This is Gabriel phthalimide, amine. This is, I guess, if I am not mistaken, it is Wolff-Kishner reduction, so it will not give you amine. Even this will not give you amine. This will give you amine, reduction of amine. Okay, clear? So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So answer is 5. Answer is how much? 5. Clear? Next, find the total number of ions whose aqueous solution is colored. So if there is an unpaired electron, the aqueous solution will be colored. If there is no unpaired electron, it will be not colored. So +3, unpaired electrons are 0. Zinc, unpaired electrons are 0. Rest all have unpaired electrons. So answer will be what? 8. Clear? Sure. Next, the number of geometrical isomers for this particular compound. Achha, this particular compound is MA3 B C D type. Okay, MA3 B C D type, and what they have asked is geometrical isomers. For this kind of a compound, the number of geometrical isomers are 4. Okay, for this kind of a compound, the number of geometrical isomers are what? 4. Clear? Sure. Next, okay, so yeah, that was all the questions, guys, that you have encountered in your grand test. Okay, I hope that you must have understood the approach of solving this particular questions. Okay, till then, guys, take care. We are done with this particular solution. Till then, take care. Keep smiling.
Hi students, welcome to the physics paper solutions for your Grand Test 6 from your All India Test series. I'm Aniruddha, your physics faculty. So let's start with the questions for this test. The first one says 6 point masses, each of mass m, are placed at the vertices of a regular hexagon of side L. The force acting on any of the masses. So before we understand this, let's first draw out what the diagram would look like. So a hexagon means it's looking something like this over here, and each of the sides have the length L. It's a bit skewed, but anyway, you get the idea. Now let's name the vertices. Let's call this A, B, C, D, E and F. Now we want the gravitational force. Suppose there are masses at each of these vertices, and I want the gravitational force at any one of the masses. We choose this mass. We want to find the gravitational force about that mass. So it's going to be attracted by this mass, all of the masses are going to attract it. Now we know the formula for attraction. It is F is equal to Gmm by r square, where r was the distance between the masses. Now the distance between this AB and AF is L. That is the side. We don't need to bother. But we don't know the distance from A to C, and we don't know the distance from A to D. Also from A to E. A to C and A to E would be the same distance. So let's figure that out. This is AC over here. Now we can't directly get this. The way to get this is firstly you bring about this perpendicular bisector. We know this angle is going to be equal to 30 degrees. This angle is 30 degree. This length, which would be the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle, is L, which means this part here, let's call this point O. So AO would be equal to L cos of 30, which is just root 3 L by 2. Now the entire AC is going to be 2 times of this because it's symmetrical. So AC is equal to AC is equal to 2 times of this, so root 3 L. So we have got AC and that is also AE. So we have got 4 lengths, AB, AC, AE and AF. We next need AD. For AD we need this length, and again we cannot get this directly because remember this is not 90 degree here, even though it might look like it. So the way to do that, again we draw a perpendicular on this and we call this point as point P. Now again this angle is also 30 degrees. Of the, again the hypotenuse we know, that is AC, that is just root 3L, which means AP would be equal to root 3L into again cos of 30. So that is going to give you root 3 by 2 over here. So AP becomes root 3 by 2, so it's going to be 3 by 2L. Root 3 and another root 3 multiply to give you 3. So we got AP. That is just this length. Next thing we need is PD. Now over here, this angle is going to be 60 degree. Because the entire angle is 120 degree, that angle is going to be 60 degree over there. And over here we again know the hypotenuse L, which means our PD is going to be equal to L cos of 60. Cos 60 is half, which means this is going to give me L by 2. Now AD is actually AP plus PD, which means AD is equal to AP plus PD. AP was 3L by 2 and your PD was L by 2. That is just going to give you 4L by 2, that is 2L. So now we have all the lengths. We have AB, we have AC, we have AD, correspondingly we have AE and AF as well. Now that we have got these all values, the important ones are this AC, which is also equal to AE, and this AD over here. Now using this we can move ahead to finding the forces, but first let's clear off the board a bit. सर आप कट कर सकते हो, मेरे को वैसे भी वो एडिटर हटाएगा. So I've written down those values AC and AD over here. Now we'll try to find the forces, but before we move into that, there's something important that you have to understand, is that you have a force in this direction, which let's call that FB. You would have the exact same magnitude of force in this direction also over here. So FF would actually just be FB, and the angle between them is 120 degrees. Now you can tell by symmetry that their resultant is going to point in this direction, right? And also if you look at the force towards A because of C, force by C and force by E, then even their resultant, the angle between them would be 60 degree here, and their resultant would also be pointing in that direction, and AD anyway is going to be pulling straight down. So all we need to do is find find what the resultant is for these pair of forces, and then we can just add them up. So first up, for FB we know FB is going to be equal to G into M if the masses are M, Gm square divided by R square. R would be just the length, right? So Gm square by L square, that is my FB. Let's find out what the resultant is going to be. So the resultant, because of, let's call that FBF, is equal to root over of FB square plus FB square plus 2 FB into FB. Again, I get another FB square. Remember, this is FB square. This would be FF square. Since the magnitude is same, I'm keeping it as is. And you have cos of, this is 120 degree over here. Cos 120 is just minus half. So minus half, if we put here, 2 and 2 cancel, you get FB square plus FB square minus FB square. So that FBF is just going to be equal to FB, which is GM square divided by L square. So we have got the force because of these two, the resultant over here. We can also get similarly the force because of the FC and FE, because here if it is FC, this direction also the magnitude is going to be the same FC, right, even though it's FE. So we'll write what FC could be. FC would be equal to same GM square, but the length would be AC over here, which is root 3L, which would give us 3L square, right? Again, when we are finding for FCE, so FCE, that is the resultant of FC and FE, would be equal to root over of FC square plus again FE square, which is also FC, plus 2 FC into FE, which is again FC square, into cos of, the angle between them is 60 degree. So cos of 60 degree, 60 degrees again half, but at this time it's plus half, which means you have this as root 3 into FC, which is just, FC is going to be GMM, FC value we have already got, which if you put in here, then this root 3 will cancel out with a 3 here and leave behind a root 3. So your FCE, let's write this here, ignore this, FCE would be equal to GM square divided by root 3 into L square. So that is FCE. We also have this, and final force is just F8 FD, and that, let's put that in here, FD would be equal to GM square divided by this length we found as 2L AD, so this is 2L square, that is 4L square over here. Now what is the net force? You want the net force acting, that is just going to be, you can just add them all scale in the form of a scalar, because they're all in the same direction. So if you add them up, creating lots of partitions here, the net force is FBF BF plus FCE plus FD. If you put in the values and just take the GM by L square common, then you will eventually arrive at option 1. I'm not going it, it's just putting in the values and proceeding beyond that. I know this is a comparatively longer sum, but this is a kind of question that you would expect in JEE. Now there's not a lot of difficult things with respect to this, but this is given in JEE so that you lose out on quite some time. So you have to use shortcuts wherever possible, such as cos 120 minus half. You have to quickly jump, don't write so many steps. I could have written it as FB plus FE square plus and so on. Try to be as fast, try to do most of it mentally. Let's move on to the next question. It says a meter stick, length 1 meter, held vertically with one end in contact with the floor, is then allowed to fall. If the end touching the floor is not allowed to slip, the other end will hit the ground with a velocity. So here this scale falls, this point is fixed, this is the point about which it's going to turn and fall. You can even consider this central point just to keep things more consistent. And what is happening here, when it goes from this position to this position, its gravitational potential energy decreases. Why? Because its center of mass drops down by a height over here, and that height is L by 2. The length is given 1 meter, is just L by 2. So the drop in potential energy is just m into g into L by 2. And this drop in potential energy is going to lead to the, where is this potential energy going? It's going into raising the rotational kinetic energy of this body, because it's now rotating, which means the rotational kinetic energy given by half I omega square. Now I is the moment of inertia of this straight rod, you can consider it, and remember it's turning about one of its ends, which means I is equal to ml square by 3. So mgl by 2 is equal to half into ml square by 3 into omega square. Cancel out a lot of the terms, cancel out the masses, cancel out the 2's. You can even take one L out, which gives you omega is equal to root over 3g by L. Now the question asks us to find what is the speed of the other end before it hits the ground. So we know the angular speed with which it's turning, but we want the linear speed of this point, or the linear speed of this point when it comes here. So how do we find the linear speed? It's just angular speed multiplied with the distance from the axis. So the distance of this point from the axis is just the length L, which means V would be equal to omega L, which is just, if you put L here, you will get root over of 3gl, because L, if you put root L, will cancel with L to give you another root L. You get 3gl. So the values are provided to us. You get 3 into 9.8 to the length is 1 meter. So that is roughly going to be equal to 30, right? This is roughly equal to 30. Now again, you'll tell, how do I figure out the square root of 30? You don't have to look at the options. At root over 25, you have 5, right? 5 square is 25, 6 square is 36. So 30 would be somewhere between 5 and 6. So only one option holds true, that is 5.4 meters per second. Next one, two soap bubbles, radii R1 and R2 equal to 4 cm, 5 cm touching each other over a common surface, S1, S2. Its radius is, now this I won't go into the derivation because we know this to be a straight formula. This question is very common, has come multiple times, and the formula for the radius of this is just given by R is equal to R1, R2 divided by R2 minus R1. So R1, R2 is 4 and 5. So 4 into 5 divided by 5 minus 4, that is just going to be equal to 20 centimeters. So correct option is option 2 over here. Next, a thing, rectangular magnet suspended freely has a period of oscillation equal to t, that is broken into 2 equal halves, each half having half of the original length, and one piece is made to oscillate freely in the same field. Its period of oscillation is t dash. Its period of oscillation would be t dash here. Then the ratio of t dash by t is. Now what do we know about the period of oscillation? The period of oscillation t is equal to, how do we get that? We get that from our original relation of the torque. The torque was equal to the dipole moment m multiplied with your magnetic field into, you had the sine theta, which for small angles of deflection would be theta, right? And here you put it as I alpha is equal to minus mb theta, or alpha is equal to minus mb by I theta. And this is from where you compared this to alpha is equal to minus omega square theta. You got omega out and then time period. So let's do it here as well. So my omega would be equal to root over of mb by I, and your time period is equal to 2 pi root over of I by mb. Now why is this important? Because I need the relation between the time period and the quantities that can change by changing the length. So magnetic field cannot change, that is fixed. So my t is proportional to root over of I by m. Now let's write it down. So t dash by t would be equal to root over of I by m. So up top you would have I dash by m dash, and here you would have m divided by I. That comes from t over here. Now I dash, it doesn't even matter what kind of thing it is with rectangular magnet, whether you use ml square by 12 or not, because all those factors will cancel out. The only thing that matters is that it will depend on ml square, right? Mass into length square. That is the only dependence that we need. So for I dash, it is m into L square, but when you break it in two pieces, the new mass becomes half of the original mass. So for I dash, it would be m by 2 into, again length has been shortened, so it will be L by 2 whole square into whatever is the original magnetic moment, we keep it as is. Now the new magnetic moment m dash will again be divided in half, because if you recall, the magnetic moment also had 2ql, that L part was there. So if you reduce the length in half, even the magnetic moment would also go down in half. So this becomes m by 2, and I stays as is. You can keep it as ml square. You might have ml square by 12, but that would appear up top as well. They would cancel out. We are not bothered about it. So from here, what do we get? We get this as root over of, you have up top, this 2 would go up top, and down below you have 2 into 2 square, that is going to give you 8. That is root over of 1 by 4, that is equal to half. So correct option here is option 2. T dash by t is half. Right? Don't jump into the fact that t dash should only depend on the length or anything. Directly proportional, t is equal to 2 pi l by g. That is the formula for a pendulum, not for this. Be careful, all the factors that can depend on length in the time formula. Next, an electron and a proton are moving on a straight parallel path with the same velocity. They enter a semi-infinite region of uniform magnetic field perpendicular to the velocity. Which of the following statements is true? First, they will never come out of the magnetic field. So let's draw this out so that you understand. Let's assume this is the region of magnetic field, right? A dot would have been better, but anyway, you get an idea. Semi-infinite means from this point on it's infinite. Now, if any particle comes in, it's going to trace out a circular path. But while it makes a circular path, it's going to turn. After half a semicircle, it's going to come out of the magnetic field, so it's going to go out. So the first statement, that they will never come out, is false. Next, they will come out traveling along perpendicular paths. That is not going to happen. For a proton and an electron, they have opposite charge, which means maybe if proton turns this way, electron is going to turn the other way. That is the only difference that is going to happen. Or rather, by the sign, electron would turn this way and the proton would turn this way, because V cross B would be in that direction. Right? So proton goes that way, electron goes this way, but they eventually come out in the same direction, parallel to each other. Third one, they will come out at the same time. This is not true, because the time period of circular motion in any magnetic field is given by the relation T is equal to 2 pi m divided by Q into B. As you can see, with regards to proton and electron, 2 pi charge and magnetic field are same, but mass is different. Proton's mass is much heavier, which means T will be different for them, so they will not be come out at the same time. They will come out at different times. The proton will take longer to come out. Next, the resistance of a wire at 20 degrees Celsius is 20 ohms, and at 500 degrees Celsius it's 60 ohms. At which temperature its resistance will be 25 ohms. So we need that coefficient of temperature dependence of resistivity or resistance here. And for that, we can use this 20 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius and 60 ohm at 500 degrees Celsius. So first equation we'll write. The original equation, remember, is R is equal to R naught 1 plus alpha T, where T effectively told you about the change in temperature. So this, with regards to the value given, would become 60 is equal to R naught, the initial we'll assume as 20 ohm, 1 plus alpha into the change in temperature between these 2 points is 500 minus 20 ohm, that is 500 minus 20 degrees Celsius, that is 480 degrees Celsius. So from here on, cancel this out, you get a 3 minus 1 gives you a 2, so alpha becomes equal to 2 by 480. Okay. Now we can move ahead to the case with the 25 ohm, because there again you use a similar relation, just R will now become 25, and again the initial point we'll consider as the same 20 ohm, 20 into 1 plus alpha value we got 2 by 480, so alpha into the change in temperature T over here. So again, few things we can cancel out. This goes with 5, this is 4, so you have 5 by 4 down below. 5 by 4 minus 1 gives you 1 by 4, and that will be equal to 2 by 480 into T, cuts out with 120, 120 cuts out over here with 2, so your T becomes equal to 60. But we got T is 60, but don't mark 60 over here, because the temperature when you get 25 ohm is not going to be 60 degrees Celsius. This told you about the difference in temperature. So the actual temperature is going to be 60 degrees Celsius, above the original temperature for 20 ohm, which was 20 degrees Celsius. So correct answer is 60 plus 20, 80 degrees Celsius. Moving on. 3 blocks are placed as shown in figure. Masses of A, B and C are M1, M2, M3 respectively. Force exerted by block C on B is. So this is pretty straightforward, nothing much to understand. You can just visualize if you combine this as one single mass. Combine this as one single mass, then it will have a mass given by M1 plus M2. That is going to push down with M1 plus M2G. And the normal reaction is going to be pushing up. The block C will push up, will give the normal reaction, and that has to be equal to this because they are kept stabilized and balanced, no acceleration. So this is just straightforward. By basic intuition we get the answer. Next, physical quantity P is given by P is equal to A cube B to the power half divided by C to the power minus 4 into D to the power 3 by 2. Quantity which brings the maximum percentage error is. And the correct option right away we can say is C, because if you recall in that percentage error, it was just the, if we had y is equal to A to the power m divided by say B to the power n, then percentage of y, percentage error in y was equal to m times of the change of A plus n times of the change of B. So whatever was their power, that came as the coefficient. So here, since C has the maximum power, the negative value does not matter, right? Negative value does not matter when you're finding error. So just who has the highest power is going to have the maximum contribution in the error. So C is the correct option here. This one, a particle starts from rest, moves with the uniform acceleration. Ratio of the distance covered in nth second to n seconds is. We have the relation for the distance covered in the nth second. It's given by Sn is equal to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Right? In over here, it starts from rest, so u is 0. So for us, Sn would be equal to just a by 2 into 2n minus 1. And we also need what is the total distance covered in n seconds, and that is given by S is equal to ut plus half t square. So u into the time is n seconds, so ut plus half a t square, t is again n, so a n square. U is 0, starts from rest, so S is equal to half a n square. We need the ratio of this Sn by S. So Sn by S becomes equal to a by 2's cancel out. You essentially have 2n minus 1 divided by n square. So that is going to give you 2 by n minus 1 by n square. Just opening up, spreading up these into individual terms, you'll get it. Next one, transistor connected in common emitter configuration. Input resistance RB is 2 kilo ohm, load resistance 5 kilo ohm, beta is 60, input signal 12 millivolts, and we need to find voltage gain, power gain, and value of the output voltage. So first up, the voltage gain. Let's start from here. The voltage gain AV would be equal to IC into RC, my bad, would be IC into RC divided by IB into RB. Now all of these values have been given to us. IC by IB is in fact the current gain over here, which is given as 60. So that is 60 multiplied with RC value is given as 5 kilo ohm, RB is given as 2 kilo ohm. So 5 by 2, you get it as 2.5. So 60 into 2.5 is going to give you 150. So your current gain is 150. Next thing we need is the power gain. Power gain PG is equal to the voltage gain into the current gain. So it's just AV into the current gain beta, AV into beta. So that is going to give you 150 into 60, that is equal to 9000. So we are already getting somewhere. So it is the correct option here, but since they've asked you for the value of the output voltage, we can even get that. Now AV, this is actually equal to VC by VB, right? VB value is given as 12 millivolts. If you multiply 12 millivolts here, you would get 1.8 volts. So correct option is option 1. Next, we have this question about communication system. It says if a carrier wave Ct is equal to A sine of omega Ct is an amplitude modulated by a modulated signal, Mt is equal to A sine of omega Mt, then equation of the modulated signal will be. So right off the bat, we know that it has to be either this or it has to be this, because we know that whatever is this part coming from the modulator signal, that is only going to change the affect the amplitude, because this is an amplitude modulated wave. So omega m has to appear in that amplitude part. Omega m has to appear in that amplitude part. Over here that is not happening, and on the other side you should have the natural frequency of vibration should maintain the carrier wave. So omega c should be there, that's only there in these two cases. But the only difference is here the modulation index is given as 2, here it's given as 1, and this is our correct option, because as we can tell here, this if there was a modulation index, that would have appeared over here. Since over here the coefficient is 1, so the modulation index is 1. If the coefficient were given as 2, then the modulation index would have been 2. Okay, so correct option here is option 3. Next, nucleus disintegrates into two nuclear parts which have their velocities in the ratio of 2:1. Ratio of the nucleus sizes will be. So when they disintegrate, again conservation of momentum has to be maintained, which means m1v1 has got to be m2v2. So m1 by m2 is equal to v2 by v1, which as it says here, it's in the ratio of 2:1, so it would actually be 1 by 2 here, right, because v1 by v2 is 2:1. Now this m1 by m2, now the masses depend on the mass number, so this half is equal to also a1 by a2, because m1 by m2 would be equal to would be proportional to a1 by a2. Also we know by since we want for the nuclear sizes, we want the nuclear radii, we know a is equal to, a was proportional to r cubes. A was proportional to r cubes, right? Or rather r was equal to a to the power 1 by 3. So from there on we essentially get that r1 by r2, since it was cube here, we can put it whole under a cube, shift it over to this side. Remember, this r1 cube by r2 cube is equal to half, so r1 by r2 would be 1 by 2 to the power 1 by 3. So correct option is option 4. It's just the first question that was really long, rest of it is pretty quick, you can be pretty quick with these. Next, coefficient of thermal conductivity of copper is 9 times that of steel in the composite cylindrical bar shown here. What will be the temperature at the junction of copper and steel? Now we know, since they are connected in series, their rate of heat flow has to remain the same, which means Kc into A, so let's assume that the temperature here is theta, Kc into A into 100 minus theta. Kc is the thermal conductivity of copper. We know Ka del theta divided by L is Q by T. So theta divided by the length, which is given as, let's call that Lc for now. So over here we have Ks into A. Same area is maintained throughout. That would be theta minus 0 degree divided by the length of the steel part, which Kc has been said to be 9 times of the thermal conductivity of steel. So Kc is 9 Ks. Area is already same, you can cancel it out right here. 9 into 100 minus 9K into 100 minus theta divided by Lc, length of copper, 18. Centimeters doesn't matter, because as you will see we can cancel them out, so don't bother, don't waste time. Ks stays Ks already, A is cancelled, and you just have theta divided by this length is 6. Cancel this out, you get here 3. Ks cancel out this 3 here with 3 here. That gives you 3 into 100, 300 minus 3 theta is equal to theta, which means 4 theta is equal to 300, or theta is equal to 300 by 4. So 300 by 2 is 150. 150 by 2 again is going to be 75 degrees Celsius. So that is the correct option. Next question, a bob of simple pendulum executes simple harmonic motion in water with period t, while the period of oscillation of the bob is t naught in air. Neglecting friction force of water and given that the density of bob is 4 by 3 into 10 to the into 1000 kg per meter cube, what is the relationship between T and T naught? Now, there's a huge elaborate way in which we can do this. We can take the forces and everything, but there's a simpler way to approach this. First off, what is the relation for the time period? The relation for the time period, if T naught is that in air, so we'll write the relation for it in air first. 2 pi root over of L divided by G. G was the acceleration due to gravity. Now, when you dip it in water, what is changing? The force of gravity becomes weaker because of the buoyant force. So this G value, the actual acceleration that was coming about, that is going to change. So that is the change that we need to figure out. How does that happen? So suppose this is the bob in water. Normally downwards, if instead of keeping it as mg, we write it as v rho g. Rho is the density of the material, v rho is the mass. And up top, you're going to have the buoyant force of v sigma g, where sigma is the density of water or whatever liquid there is. So what is the net force? Earlier it was v rho g, so you just had the acceleration g over here, right? Because the acceleration you got from this divided by the mass, v rho g divided by the mass, so you got g. But now what is the net force downwards? The net force downwards is actually v rho g minus v sigma g. So v rho minus sigma into g. So acceleration would just be force divided by the mass. Mass would be v into rho. So that would eventually give you acceleration. In this case, a dash, f dash would be rho minus sigma divided by rho into g. Because I divide by v rho, mass we are dividing it by. Which means earlier what was g? Now for t, that g is going to be replaced by what we just found. The length remains the same, length does not change, but g is replaced by a dash, which is now rho minus sigma g, and up top you have the rho because that's in the denominator. Now just put in the values, or rather just if you want the ratio, or we can even put in the values over here, because t is now equal to 2 pi into root over of L by G. I take that part out common first, and over here we have rho by rho minus sigma. Rho is 4 by 3 into 1000. So 4 by 3 into 1000 divided by 4 by 3 into 1000, again because of this rho, minus the density of water is just 1000 again, right? So that is going to give you, these thousands are all going to cancel each other out. Your 4 by 3 minus 1, that is 1 by 3. So 4 by 3 divided by 1 by 3 is going to give you 4. So your t is going to be equal to 2 pi root over L by G into root of 4. So this part 2 pi root over L by G is just t naught, which means your this new t is equal to root 4 is going to give you 2. So 2 into this part is t naught. So t naught. So the correct option is t is equal to 2t naught. So here use a bit of intuition, use a bit of like what analogies can you draw with regards to the formula here, and you can proceed, you'd get the correct answer. Next one, from the following statements concerning ideal gas at any given temperature, select the wrong one. Coefficient of volume expansion at constant pressure is same for all gases. This is the correct statement. This is not the wrong one. We know this for a fact. Next, the average translational kinetic energy per molecule of oxygen is 3 kT. This is an incorrect statement because we know that there are 3 translational degrees of freedom, and each degree of freedom gives you half kT. So this should have been 3 by 2 kT. So this is our correct option because that is the incorrect statement. The question asks us which statement is wrong. Next, in gaseous mixture, average translational kinetic energy of the molecules of each component is same. That is true. That is the law of equipartition of energy. Next, the mean free path of molecules increases with decrease in pressure. Again, this is true because it decrease in pressure increases the volume. That is how the mean free path actually increases. Next, here we have a figure. The figure shows a PV plot of an ideal gas taken through cycle ABCDA. Part ABC is a semicircle, CDA is half of an ellipse. Looks like a complete circle, but you get an idea. Process during the path AB is isothermal. This part is not isothermal because we know for an isothermal curve, it should go like this. So the first statement is incorrect. Second, heat flows out of the gas during the path BCD. So this is the correct statement because here actually the volume is reducing, which means it's being compressed. And since it's not isothermal, you know that eventually it's going to give off heat, right? Heat is going to flow out of the system. So this is our correct statement. Work done during the path ABC is 0. That is incorrect because in path ABC, if you take from path A to B, the area would be this, and from B to C, the volume would reduce, but you would still have this much area as the work done in the path ABC. Next, negative work is done by the cycle in the ABCDA. That is incorrect because the cycle is moving clockwise. For clockwise motion of the cycle, you always have positive work done. So correct statement is option 2 over here. Next, two waves originating from source S1, S2 having 0 phase difference. Common wavelength lambda will show complete destructive interference at a point P for S1P minus S2P. So S1P minus S2P just tells you about the path difference. We know when the path difference leads to destructive interference when it is an odd multiple of lambda by 2. Right? At even multiples of lambda by 2 you have constructive, at odd multiples you have destructive. So we have only one odd multiple of lambda by 2, that is this 11 lambda by 2. Next one, the xy plane is the boundary between two transparent media, medium 1 with which is in the positive z axis, has a refractive index √2, and medium 2 has refractive index √3. Ray of light in medium 1 is given by the vector 6 √3 i cap plus 8 √3 j cap minus 10 k cap is incident on the plane of separation. Find the angle of refraction in medium 2 in the direction of the refracted ray. So let's draw this out. We have this as the xy plane, which is also the interface, and you have the light ray falling and then it bends. So you want this angle I, right? Now how do we figure that out? We have been given the vector of the incident ray. But in order to find the angle between the incident ray and the normal, we need a vector for the normal. Now we know this is the xy plane, which means the vector for the normal can just be k cap. The normal vector could just be k cap. Now we have two vectors. We have one vector, we have the other vector, which means we can effectively find out what the angle is between them, because the angle cos of I would be equal to, we use the dot product, the ability to use dot products here, which would just be the dot product of this into this. So that will just leave the k cap, the minus 10, divided by the magnitude of each of them. So we know cos theta is equal to a vector dot b vector divided by magnitude of a into magnitude of b. So magnitude of this is just this square plus this square plus this square. So 6 √3 square, 6 square is 36, into √3 square would be 3. So 36 into 3 would give you 72, 108. Plus on the other side you have 8 √3, again 8 squared becomes 64, 64 multiplied with √3 squared, that is 3. 64 into 3 would give you, 64 into 2 gives you 128, that takes you to 192. Plus 10 square is just 100. Right, and there's a root over this entire thing, which makes minus. You can even ignore the negative sign because we've taken k cap is in that direction but I is in this direction, so effectively that negative sign would already have been removed. So we have 10 divided by 108 plus 192 is 300, 300 plus 100 is 400, √400 is 20. Cancel them out. So we have cos theta over here as half. So cos I is going to be equal to half. Now we have the I, we next need our we have been given the refractive index for each of them, and from this we have to figure out what the angle of refraction is going to be. We need this R over here. Now sin I by sin R, we need sin I by sin R would give us, let's write this here, √3 by √2, √3 by √2, that is the refractive index, would be equal to sin I divided by sin of R. Now we need sin I, but we don't have sin I yet. We just have cos I. which is half. So from here we can actually get sin I. Sin I would be root over of 1 minus cos square I. Cos I we have got as half, which means we can put this in relation here. Root over 1 minus 1 by 4, that gives us root 3 by 2. Gives us I is equal to root 3 by 2. Fine. Or we could even, we could have even proceeded just by here. I would have been equal to 60 degree, because cos of 60 degree is half. We did not even have proceeded that way. But anyway, we have done it, so doesn't really matter here. We can tell that I is equal to 30 degree. I is equal to 60 degree. I'm messing things up here, doesn't matter as long as I fix it. Equal to 60 degree. So sin R would be equal to sine of I. So sine R is equal to sine I gives root 3 by 2. This cross multiplied there gives itself a root 2 by root 3. Root 3 cancels, root 2 cancels here to give you root 2. So sine R is 1 by root 2. So you know R has to be equal to 45 degree. Next question. In an AC circuit, voltage supplied is E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Resulting current in the circuit is I is equal to I naught sine of omega t minus pi by 2. The power consumption in the circuit is given by, and this you don't even need to do anything, you can directly put power is 0. Why? Because you can see the phase difference. You can see the phase difference is pi by 2 or minus pi by 2 as you would consider it, which means your power factor of that cos phi is going to be equal to 0. Cos of pi by 2 would be 0. So your effective power, average power would be 0 here. Next, a moving block having mass m collides with another stationary block having mass 4m. The lighter block comes to rest after collision. If the initial velocity of the lighter block is v, then the value of coefficient of restitution is. So again, first up, the law of conservation of momentum. The first block moves with the velocity it's given here. Initial velocity is v. So mv. The other block has 0 velocity, it was at rest. And after collision, the second block has a velocity say v dash, but the first block now has a velocity 0. So that does not contribute. So v dash is just v by 4 over here. Now we need coefficient of restitution, which is just E is equal to v dash minus 0 divided by v minus 0. So final of the second one minus this and so on. So if you put that in, v dash is equal to v by 4, you will get it as 1 by 4. So this is just the ratio of velocity of approach by velocity of reapproach, so on. So this is equal to 0.25. Next question, in an electromagnetic wave, amplitude is 1 volt per meter. The frequency is given as 5 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. Wave is propagating along x-axis. What will be the average energy density of the electric field? So average density of the electric field, average of just the electric field, there's a direct relation for that, that is 1 by 4 epsilon naught E naught square. That's it. The magnetic field also gives 1 by 4 epsilon naught E naught square together. The total would have, if they were asked for the total field, then we would have 2 times of this, so half of this, but it's just the electric field. If you put in the values, 1 by 4 into 8.85, 10 to the power minus 12 into E naught square, so it's just 1 square, doesn't make a difference. So 1 by 4, this would go with roughly around 2.2 something. So it's 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 12. So you need to get it to the nearest integer. So that would be, answer would be 2 for this. It's generally coming to just 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 12. So it's 2. Next question, a parallel plate capacitor is formed by 2 plates, each of area 100 centimeters square, separated by a distance of 1 millimeter. Dielectric of dielectric constant 5 and dielectric strength 1.9 into 10 to the power 7 volt per meter is filled between the plates. Find the maximum charge that can be stored in the capacitor without causing any dielectric breakdown. So we need to find out what is the electric field. If we give it a charge Q, then what would be the electric field developed over there, and that electric field value should not exceed this. So that should be the maximum value of that electric field. So first up, we can write down the capacitance relation. The capacitance relation, C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. You can have a K in here. So that is your capacitance relation. So the next question says that a parallel plate capacitor formed by two plates, area 100 centimeter square, distance of separation 1 millimeter, dielectric constant is 5, and you've been given the dielectric strength. We want the maximum charge on it possible such that there's no dielectric breakdown, which means the electric field between the plates should not exceed this value over here. Now what do we know is the electric field between capacitor plates is given by E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught, or in this case it would be sigma by K epsilon naught, because there's a dielectric over here. Now this electric field should have a maximum value given by the dielectric strength. So 1.9 into 10 to the power 7 is equal to, sigma is just the charge divided by area. So charge is exactly what we need to find, divided by the area is given as 100 centimeter square. So 100 into 10 to the power minus 4. K value is provided as 5 and epsilon is 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. From here on I won't go into the calculation, you have to cross multiply over there. So to get the value of Q, and you would get Q as 8 into 10 to the power minus 6. So your Q value would eventually come to be roughly 8 into 10 to the power minus 6. Is that what we get? Yep. So your answer for this would be, since we want it in multiples of 10 to the power minus 6, answer would be 8 for this. Next question, the width of one of the two slits in a Young's double slit experiment is double of the other slit. Assuming that the amplitude of light coming from a slit is proportional to slit width, find the ratio of the maximum to the minimum intensity in the interference pattern. So we know I max by I min is equal to A1 plus A2 square divided by A1 minus A2 square. Now since the first one has double the width, so if I can assume this to be 2 and this to be 1, there would be a proportionality constant, but as you can see from the numerator denominator they would cancel out, doesn't really make a difference. I can treat A1 as 2 and this as 1. So you have 2 plus 1 whole square divided by 2 minus 1 whole square, that is 3 square by 1, that is 9. So the correct option, next one, is 9. I max by I min is just 9. Next question, motorcycle starts from rest and accelerates along a straight path at 2 meters per second square. At the starting point of the motorcycle, there is a stationary electric siren. How far has the cycle gone when the driver hears the frequency of the siren at 94% of its value when the motorcycle was at rest? So what is happening here? As the motorcyclist goes, his velocity is increasing because he's accelerating. And as his velocity increases, there's going to be the Doppler effect, which means he's going to hear a lower frequency. So we know the relation for Doppler effect, it's given by f dash is equal to, now this is a observer moving away and the source is stationary. So a relation would be V minus VO divided by V into F, the original frequency. VO is the speed of the observer at the moment which we are dealing with. So from here on, we know f dash is 94%. So f dash by f would just give you 0.94 is equal to 330 minus V naught divided by 330 over here. So 330 cross multiplied here would give you 0.94 into 330 is equal to 330 minus V naught, or V naught is equal to 0.06 into 330. So that would give you a value, I have it written down here as 19.8 meters per second. So this is the speed when he hears this frequency. And since he's accelerating, you can find out, the question asks us how far has he gone. right? How far in meters? We need how far has he gone. So how far has he accelerated for to get this speed? So we use Newton's equation of motion of v square is equal to u square plus 2as. U was 0, initial velocity was 0. So it's just v would be v naught square is equal to 2as. So s is equal to v naught square, that is 19.8 square divided by 2 into 2. So this, if you calculate, you would get the value of s as 98 meters. So your answer for this is 98. Okay. Next question. For what kinetic energy in 10 to the power minus 21 joules of a neutron will the associated de Broglie wavelength be 1.4 into 10 to the power minus 10 meters? Mass of neutron and the Planck's constant value is provided to us. We know by the wave particle duality that the momentum P is equal to h by lambda. Now momentum again can be written as root over of 2mk, where m is the mass, k is the kinetic energy, that is equal to h by lambda. So k is equal to h square, lambda square and 2m down below. We have the value for everything. Lambda value is given to us, wavelength. We have been given Planck's constant value and also the mass of a neutron. Again, calculation beyond this part, and that should give you roughly 7 into 10 to the power minus 21. So we have to denote it in 10 to the power minus 21. So the answer for this would be 7. This calculation, if you put in the values, you'll see some places you can approximate stuff. So use that. But you would have to do the calculation. Even in JEE, occasionally calculations like this come. In numerical answer, it's a bit more difficult because you have to get a bit closer to the actual answer. But for objectives, especially calculations, you can use a lot of manipulations over there. Next, the distance between plates of a parallel plate capacitor is 0.05 meter. A field of 3 into 10 to the power 4 volts per meter is established between the plates. It's disconnected from the battery and an uncharged metal plate of thickness 0.01 meter is inserted. What would be the potential difference? So this in between, that uncharged plate is there, that does not matter. What matters is only at the end you put a dielectric constant k equal to 2. Right? The middle part does not matter because what you do in between doesn't matter. Whatever charge you had, since you've disconnected it from the battery, whatever charge it took in the beginning, it has to hold that charge irrespective of what you put inside or take out. Okay. So in the first case, if the capacitance, you can understand the capacitance would change because the dielectric is inserted. So the charge has to be the same. Remember, charge Q is equal to CV, right? So C1 V1 has to be equal to C2 V2. Charge in the initial case has to be charged after the dielectric has been inserted. So for C1, it's epsilon naught A by D. Epsilon naught A divided by the D, which is the thickness between the plates, which is 0.05 meters. 0.5, I'll not put in meters because everything, the units cancel out eventually, everything else is in those units. And your V1 value is not provided to us yet, but we have been given the electric field. We have been given the electric field over here. And the voltage is equal to electric field into that distance between the plates. So we can put that in here. Electric field is 3 into 10 to the power 4 multiplied with the distance between the plates, that's 0.05 meters. That is 0.05. These are eventually going to cancel out anyway, but this is just C1 V1 on this part. And on the other side, for C2, you have epsilon naught A. But down below things change. Now you have this part as D, which was the original thickness. From that you remove whatever is the thickness of this plate, right? Whatever is the thickness of this plate. So minus T plus we do that thickness of the plate that we have subtracted, because now we are going to add that thickness of the plate with the dielectric constant. So plus T divided by K, right? The thickness of the plate is given, so that is 0.01 meters. So it's a metal plate itself having the dielectric. We consider it having the same thickness over here. So we put in the values, and over here we have V2. V2 is what we need to find. So first things, we can remove this, we can remove epsilon naught a from both sides. So we have 3 into 10 to the power 4 multiplied with this part I bring over here. So d was 0.05 minus 0.01 plus 0.01 divided by 2. That is equal to V2. So 0.05 minus 0.01 gives you 0.04 plus 0.01 divided by 2 gives you 0.005. So this part will give you 3 into 10 to the power 4 into 0.045. That is V2. So if you just multiply this, I'm assuming you would go to 45 into 3. 45 into 3 takes you to 135. So 135 go to 1350. I'm assuming, let's remove this 10 to the power 3 here. This goes away. 45 into 3 makes it 135 into 10, 1350. Do we need it in kilovolts? So that is 1.35 kilovolts. So V2 35 kilovolts. So since you want it in integers, in whole numbers, so that would be, the answer would be 1. In kilovolts we have to represent it. Next question, it's found that if a neutron suffers an elastic collinear collision with deuterium at rest, fractional loss of its energy is Pd, while for a similar collision with carbon nucleus at rest, fractional loss is Pc. Ratio of Pd by Pc is, so neutron is just, it has a mass of Mn. We'll call the mass as Mn, mass of a neutron. Now deuterium has 2 of them, right? A deuterium is going to have 2 of them. So correspondingly you have the, because deuterium is 2H1, so mass number is 2. So you have originally, when there is that collision, you can find out what the final velocities are. It's a completely elastic collision. You only need the final velocity of the neutron. So neutron, the final velocity of the neutron, let's keep it Vd, final velocity after collision with the deuterium, is going to be equal to, we know the formula, it's Mn minus whatever, M1 minus M2. So M2 over here is the deuterium, which is 2Mn, divided by Mn plus 2Mn, that would be 3Mn, because it is, formula is M1 minus M2 divided by M1 plus M2 into whatever was the original speed. So let the original speed be u over here. So that is the original speed, plus you also have 2 into 2Mn divided by 3Mn again, but this part won't matter because this deals with the initial velocity of the deuterium, which is 0. So from here we can cancel out the Mn's. You will get 1 by 3 Vd is equal to u by 3. So we need what is the fractional loss of its kinetic energy. So fractional loss of its kinetic energy in this case will give us, let's call this del kd is equal to half mu square minus half mv square divided by half mu square. So put in the value of v as u by 3, that would give you u square by 9. If you calculate this, you'll see half mu square would cancel out all across the board. So right here only we can cancel out the half m's. So we can just have this part as u square minus u square by 9, because v was u by 3, so squared becomes u square by 9, divided by u square. Again you can cancel u square and calculate, and this you would get as roughly equal to, I again have the values written here, this you would get as 0.89. Next, when you use a similar relation for the carbon, in carbon, remember carbon, the mass number is 12. So there you'll have a similar relation, but your Vc would be equal to, again only this part will play a role, this won't play a role, because carbon nucleus was also at, the carbon atom was also at rest. So you would have Mn, you'd say there's a negative sign, we can ignore the negative sign, that just tells you it moves in the opposite direction, minus 12 Mn divided by Mn plus 12 Mn, that would be 13 Mn into u. that would give you Vc as equal to 11 by 13u. From there on, you'll use the similar relation as in over here. Again, you want the same delta Kc. That would, this time again, if you do the same thing, just your V has changed. So you will get u square minus 11 by 13 whole square u square divided by u square. This, if you calculate, you would get this as almost equal to 0.28. If I recall, it's 0.28. So you want del Kd by del Kc. So this you can approximate to be almost 90. This you can approximate to be almost 30, right? So you have 90 by 30, it would be roughly around 3. That is your answer here. Next question, an observer can see through a pinhole the top end of a thin rod of height h placed as shown in the figure. The beaker height is 3h and its radius is h. When the beaker is filled with a liquid up to a height 2h, he can see the lower end of the rod. The refractive index is. So this height is h. This height is given as 3h. This would be 2h because the radius is h. So that entire thing would be 2 times of that. So 2h. Now what is actually happening over here is I fill up water up till this level, which is height 2h, right? This height would be 2h here. This up till this level, this does not mark this level of the slit, it's just to mark the height up till the water. So then what happens is that the bottom part is visible, which means the light from the bottom goes up and it has to go past this path only, because only then can it pass through that pinhole, right? Now over here we have to find the refractive index of the liquid. So again, let's draw out the normal here. Over here our incidence and refraction, we can do the opposite. It doesn't really matter. We can even treat this as I and this as R. Won't really matter. We'll be able to get, we know refractive index of the liquid has to be higher, so we can approximate over there. Now see, if this is I, right, and if I trace this out, then if I complete this part here, now I have a right angle triangle. I have a right angle triangle over here where this part is H and this part is R. My bad. This part is also H. That is the radius, right? That part is the radius, which is H, and this part is also H because the full water was filled up to 2H. This part was H. So we can find I because our tan of I would be equal to H by H. So I would effectively be equal to 45 degree. We have got the angle of incidence. Next we need the angle of refraction. Now for the angle of refraction, again let's use a different color, make it colorful here. So according to the angle of refraction, you have this angle R here. And now we take this triangle where the height is 2h and again the base is just equal to h. So if I were to take the tan of R, right, or rather we can directly get the sine of R, right? The sine of R would be equal to, this is the opposite, h, divided by the hypotenuse. Since we know this and this, we can get the hypotenuse as root over of h square plus 2h square. So that is going to give me this h square plus 2h square would give me 5h square. You can get the h out and you would eventually have 1 by root 5. So my refractive index I need to find out. My n has to be equal to sin I by sin R, which sin I would give me 1 by root 2, sin R would give me root 5. So actually I'll do root 5 by root 2. Right, root 5 by root 2 because sin I by sin R. So once you do that, you will get root over of 2.5 and that is roughly equal to 2. That is roughly equal to, means if you are taking it to whole numbers, we'll keep it as 2. Next question, calculate work done when 1 mole of a perfect gas is compressed adiabatically. The initial pressure इस बात को थोड़ा सा काटना. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Calculate the work done, magnitude in joule, when 1 mole of a perfect gas is compressed adiabatically. The initial pressure and volume of the gas are 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square and 6 liter. The final volume of the gas is 2 liter. Molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume is 3R by 2. Now, when I see that this is 3R by 2, I immediately know that this is a monoatomic gas, which means my gamma value, let's write it here, my gamma value has to be equal to 5 by 3. Why is this important? Because we are dealing with an adiabatic process. It's compressed adiabatically, which means P1 V1 to the power gamma, let's do this on this side, P1 V1 to the power gamma is equal to P2 V2 to the power gamma. Now we have P1, V1 and V2. We need P2. So P2 is equal to P1 into V1 by V2 to the power gamma. That is equal to P1 is given as 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. 10 to the power 5. And V1 by V2 would just be 6 by 2. Would just be 6 by 2. That is 3 to the power gamma. 3 to the power 5 by 3. So it's given as 6.19. 9 into 10 to the power 5. So we have P2. Why do we need P2? Because my work done in an adiabatic process, we have a direct relation as P2 V2 minus P1 V1 divided by gamma minus 1. We have the values for everything. 6.19 into 10 to the power 5 into V2 is given as 2 liters minus P1 is just 10 to the power 5 into the V1 is 6 liters, 6 divided by gamma minus 1, so that is 5 by 3 minus 1, that would give you 2 by 3. Another thing you have to be careful about is that they have given it to you in liters. So since you're dealing with pressure and pressure is in Newton per meter square, you have to convert the liters into meter cube. 1 liter is 1 by 1000 meter cube, so you can just put this divided by 1000. Because you have the liters up top, you bring the 1000 below it. Again, this is calculation, work done. If you calculate, you will get the answer as 957 joules. So your answer would be 957. Next question is that you are using a light of wavelength 6000 Armstrong, stopping potential is obtained to be 2.4 volts for photoelectric cell. If light of wavelength 4000 Armstrong is used, then stopping potential in volts would be. Now we know stopping potential, let's assume for the first case, EV1 is equal to 8C by lambda 1 minus phi naught. So this threshold energy would be phi naught is equal to, we bring this side, so 8C by lambda 1 minus EV1. Now in the second case you have EV2 is equal to 8C by lambda 2 minus the same work function phi naught, right? It will have the same work function. Now this work function phi naught we can put from the relation here to make this relation as EV2 is equal to, this V2 is what we need to find, that is the stopping potential in the next case. EV2 is equal to 8C by lambda 2 minus 8C by lambda 1 plus EV1. So this we just replace phi naught from here. So EV2 would be equal to 8C into 1 by lambda 2 minus lambda 1, lambda 2 is 4000, 1 by 4000 Armstrong, that is 4 into 10 to the power minus 7 minus 1 by, next is 6000 Armstrong, that is 6 into 10 to the power minus 7 plus EV1, you can bring the E down as well to eventually get your V2 would be equal to 8c, that is 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34 into c is 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by e comes down, so 1.6 10 to the power minus 19, and 10 to the power minus 7 also you can draw out from there. Get 10 to the power minus 7. 1 by 4 minus 1 by 6 would give you 2 by 24. 2 by 24 would give you 1 by 12. So you'll get a 12 out here. And on the, you also have the plus EV1. Since you brought the E down, that cancels out. So you just have V1, that is 2.4 volts. Now over here we can simplify things a little bit. So 6.6 and 1.6 you can take it off as 4, because 1.6 into 4 would take you to 6.4, and once you do that, 4 and 3 you can take off with 12. So you have 10 to the power minus 34, and the positive powers would be 8 plus 19, that is 27. 27 plus another 7 would make it 34. Minus 34 plus 34, you'll cancel. This part is only going to contribute about 1. The entire contribution this part is roughly equal to 1. So 1 plus 2.4 would, you'll roughly get around 3.4. So your answer here would be 3, because you need it in whole numbers. So I think that's it. That's it. We've solved all the questions. Again, the first question was a bit lengthy, but that is because quite a few of the following questions you could just do conceptually. You wouldn't have to do too much. So if you get a lengthy or difficult questions right in the beginning, don't panic. Generally, you would have a section of the paper where it would even out. Either the difficulty would be a little less, or they would be questions that you can do much quicker if you know the answer to them. So that's it from this paper discussion. I'll catch you guys with your GTM 7.
Hello dear students, welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. Today let us discuss the paper dated 13th Jan, that is GTM 6, right? So without any further ado, let us enter the problems. See question number 1. You see this question, y is some trigonometric expression is given where x is open 0 to pi by 2, then find the range of y. So better let us simplify this expression, my dear friends. This is y is equal to sin power 4x minus cos power 4x, like a square minus b square. A minus b will become minus cos 2x, a plus b will become 1, and you can write it as plus 1 by 4 into, you write 4 sin square x cos square x, you can write sin square 2x, my dear friends, sin square 2x, by this is sin power 4x plus cos power 4x, you can treat like a square plus b square. So a plus b whole square minus 2ab, that is 2 sin square x cos square x. So you can write 1 by 2 sin square 2x, my dear friends. Then sin square x cos square x, again of course this is again 1 by 4 sin square 2x. Yes. So this is going to be, my dear friends, y is equal to, you try to convert sin square 2x parts can easily be converted into cos square 2x. So this is minus cos 2x, this is plus 1 by 4 into 1 minus cos square 2x here, by here it is 1 minus 1 by 4. So minus 1 by 4 into sin square 2x, you try to write 1 minus cos square 2x, my dear friends, which is, I can say, my dear friends, this is 1 by 4 minus 1 by 4 cos square 2x minus cos 2x, by here 1 minus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4 minus of minus plus 1 by 4 cos square 2x, my dear friends. You just multiply with 4, you are going to get like 1 minus, you see, 4t minus t square, by, you can say 3 plus t square. This is where t is going to be cos 2x. This is given as y, my dear friends. Now you know how to find range of such expression. You just multiply, you prepare a quadratic equation in t. I think you are getting my point. Simplify this, prepare a quadratic equation in t. Since t is real number, just apply delta greater than or equal to 0. You will get the result like minus 5 by 3 less than or equal to y less than or equal to 1. But friends, if y is equal to 1, you will get that t is equal to, you see, 1, that is cos 2x is going to be minus 1, that means x is going to be pi by 2, but this is given pi by 2 my dear friends. So open pi by 2. So y is equal to 1 is not possible. Let me repeat, if you take y is equal to 1, if you solve, you will get t is minus 1, that is cos 2x is equal to minus 1. That means 2x is equal to pi, x is pi by 2, but pi by 2 is not there in the given interval in the domain. So this is not possible. So y cannot be 1, you discard it, you are going to get y value to be minus 5 by 3 less than or equal to y less than 1. Simple friends, simplify the function and find the range, that is it. Next, you see this question, f of x is x power 5 plus x square plus 1 has roots x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, and g of x is x square minus 2. I want g of x1, g of x2, this product minus of this. Here this is fine, since these 5 are the roots of this degree 5 equation, product of the roots, that is pi xi, product of the roots is going to be minus 1. So if you put minus 1 here my dear friends, this part will become 30 into g of minus 1. So g of minus 1 is 1 minus 2 is minus 1, that is minus 30 into minus 1, which becomes plus 30 my dear friends. So this part is very clear. Now what about this part? Here my dear friends, you see when its root x1 is its root, you see you just consider the equation with roots x1 square minus 2, x2 square minus 2 and so on, xy square minus 2. Can you prepare an equation? For this equation the roots are like alpha, beta, gamma, delta, theta. What is the equation with roots? Alpha square minus 2, beta square minus 2, that means transformations of equation. If you just prepare, what we do is x square minus 2 is equal to alpha, x will become root of alpha plus 2. So my dear friends, you just find f of root of alpha plus 2 equation as a polynomial that will contain, that will have the roots like x1 square minus 2, which we call g of x1, g of x2, g of xy. So prepare an equation whose roots are these 5 numbers, that means this is the one. If you just simplify my dear friends, you are going to get it like, after simplification you substitute, you are going to get like, you see friends, that means you can write like root of x plus 2, x power 5 plus 20 x power 4, just write and simplify, you will get 40 x cube plus 79 x power 4, I mean to say x square, some x term plus 23 is equal to 0 you will get. Now for this the roots are g of x1, g of x2, g of x3, g of x5. I think you got my point. You see f of x is this, I want equation with roots x1 square minus 2, beta square minus 2, kind of. In theory of equations we do my dear friends transformations of roots, you just find like f of root x plus 2. This is nothing but g of x1, g of x2, g of x5. So for this equation the roots are g of x1, g of x2, g of x5. Consider the product of the roots my dear friends, g of x1 into g of x2 into and so on, g of x5 is equal to minus 23 my dear friends. So this expression value is minus 23, this is plus 30. So minus 23 plus 30 is going to be 7 my dear friends, 7 is the answer. Okay, right. Next friends, the equation of the circle which is touched by y is equal to x has its center on the positive direction of x axis. You see my dear friends, suppose this is the line y is equal to x. So now the circle has its center on positive direction of x axis. There is a circle whose center is on positive direction of x axis, say alpha comma 0. This is the line y is equal to x, suppose this is 45 degrees, slope is 1, no, 45 degrees. Now you just drop a perpendicular, because radius is perpendicular to tangent, here 90, so this is also 45 degrees my dear friends. So already this is alpha I have taken. So hypotenuse alpha means this is alpha by root 2, this is also alpha by root 2. Radius of the circle is alpha by root 2 my dear friends. Next he has given the data, this circle cuts a chord of length 2 units along this line. That means the same circle my dear friends, suppose this is the line, what is this line? X minus root 2 y. The length this length is going to be, he said 2 units. Suppose if you drop a perpendicular here, this is 1 unit, this is going to be radius, you just find the perpendicular distance, friends. The center is alpha comma 0. Alpha comma 0 to this line perpendicular distance is mod alpha by, friends, root of a square plus b square, which is root 4 is equal to 2. This is going to be this perpendicular distance, friends, and this radius is going to be alpha by root 2. So radius square minus d square, r square minus d square under root is 1. So this is 1, my dear friends. This is alpha square by 2 minus, I can say, alpha by 2 whole square. This is, you see, this is going to be distance square, no, mod alpha by 2 whole square, that is alpha square by 2 minus alpha square by 4 is equal to 1. So alpha square is 4, alpha is positive, alpha must be 2, my dear friends. If alpha is 2, for the required circle, center is 2 comma 0, radius is root 2. Now you can find the circle equation. Maybe this is going to be the answer, my dear friends. Center is 2, radius root 2. That's it. Next, y1 of x is a solution of the differential equation dy by dx, this one. So you can write, my dear friends, dy1 by dx plus f of x into y1 is equal to 0 is the thing, because y1 is a solution of this. Suppose y1 is a function. From this, my dear friends, you try to take f of x is minus dy1 by dx into 1 by y1, 1 by y1. This is f of x. Now you consider the given differential equation, which is dy by dx plus f of x is minus 1 by y1 into dy1 by dx into y is equal to r of x, my dear friends. This is clearly LDE, linear differential equation. Integrating factor is equal to e power integral minus 1 by y1 into dy1 by dx into dx. So my dear friends, this is minus comes, which is 1 by y1 is log y1, which becomes 1 by y1 is the integrating factor. Now the solution is y into integrating factor is equal to, you can say, my dear friends, yeah, this is going to be, my dear friends, log y1. You can observe here, this is minus log y1, minus comes as 1 by y1, this is correct, into integral of r of x into integrating factor 1 by y1 into dx plus c, my dear friends. So y is equal to y1 into, we have to get y is equal to y1 into integral r of x. No such option, my dear friends. So none of these is the right answer. Okay, this is indirectly LDE. Next, the ratio of area of the region bounded by the curve. You see this curve, my dear friends, a power 4 y square is equal to 2a minus x into x power 5. To draw its graph roughly, my dear friends, so this is positive, so this must be positive. So friends, 2a minus x into x power 4 anyhow positive, this must be positive. So that is x minus 2a into x must be negative. So x belongs to 0 to 2a, my dear friends. He must mention radius is a, in the sense a is positive. So my dear friend, the graph will be like, you see, it is like when x is 0, you can write, my dear friends, here y square is equal to, you can observe y is equal to 1 by a square into root of 2a minus x into x power 5 by 2. This is the function, my dear friends. So x must be definitely less than 2a. X cannot be more than 2a, my dear friends. The graph will be between 0 to 2a only. Now of course plus or minus will come. So generally when x is 0, the expression is 0, at 2a is also 0, you just take the derivative. So this is the curve, as plus or minus possibility is there, this also you will get, same part symmetric you will get. Now he is asking the area of this, means exactly whatever part is here, the same part here will also be. So this area is, my dear friends, 2 times integral 0 to 2a. You will get this particular one, 1 by a square comes out into root of 2a minus x into x power 5 by 2 dx, my dear friends. To evaluate this integral, you can give x is equal to 2a sine square theta you give, my dear friends. For this substitution, this is going to be 2 by a square integral when x is 0, theta is 0, when x is 2a, this is sine square theta 1, theta is pi by 2, my dear friends. And if you write 2a, root 2a comes out, here root of 2a comes out, 1 minus sine square theta is cos square theta under root is cos theta into x power, that is 2a power 5 by 2 comes out, this is 2a power 5 by 2 into 2a power 1 by 2, 2a power 6 by 2, so 2a whole cube it will be, into this is, my dear friends, sin theta power 5, yes, into dx you have to write, this is 2a 2 sin theta cos theta d theta, my dear friends. So that this is going to be finally, if you permit me, let me write here, this is going to be, yeah, you can write here, it comes into integration, my dear friends. The integral part of this is going to be, you can just simplify here, my dear friends. From here is a matter of simplification, right? Okay. So this is going to be, this is 2 into 2a whole cube by a square into, you can say, integral cos theta, another cos theta. You see another 2a also comes, my dear friends, here. So cos theta, another cos theta will become cos square theta, and sin power 5 theta into sin theta will become sin power 6 theta, and one more 2 has also come here, 2 d theta, integral 0 to pi by 2. So this Wallis formula helps to find this, my dear friends. You can say 64 a square into Wallis formula, I guess you know how to do, 2 plus 4, 2 plus 6 is 8, my dear friends, 8, 6, 4, 2, we just write reducing 2 to, since here 6 is there, you write 5, 3, 1, 2 is there 1, since both are even into pi by 2 you are going to get. This is going to be the area of the first curve. Next, my dear friends, second one is the area of the circle whose radius is a, which is pi a square. He is asking to find a ratio of these two, my dear friends. So 864 gets cancelled, my dear friends, a square gets cancelled, pi gets cancelled, you got, this is 3 2 times, 5 is to, my dear friends, 4 it is going to be, 5 is to 4 it is going to be, yes. Just simplify the things, you will get the answer, because these two got cancelled, right. In this way you can do, my dear friends. So first of all, you need to understand what this curve is, right. Take the curve, this is the graph, area is given by 2 times of this one. So after finding area, second area is pi a square, you just take the ratio. Next, my dear friends, the ellipse, this is x square by 4 plus y square by 1, meet the ellipse x square by 1 plus y square by a square is equal to 1 in 4 distinct points. You see, my dear friends, first circle has semi major axis 2, semi minor axis, this is 1, and this is, for this, suppose here it is 1 and a square, maybe of this kind. To get this particular ellipse intersect at 4 points, undoubtedly a must be more than 1. If this is also less than 1, my dear friends, it will be inside only, it won't cut at 4 points. A is given as b square minus 10b plus 25, this must be more than 1, b square minus 10b plus 24 is possible, that is b minus 4 into b minus 6 is going to be positive. So b must be either less than 6, less than 4 or greater than 6. So he said b does not satisfy closed 4 to 6. B cannot lie in 4 to 6 because b must be less than 4 or greater than 6. That's all. Next, the contrapositive of inverse. Are yaar, inverse contrapositive is converse here, because suppose you are given some statement P implies Q. its inverse means negation P implies negation Q. Its contrapositive means Q implies P, which is nothing but converse. You see, conditional and contrapositive are equivalent, and converse and inverse are equivalent because one is contrapositive of the other. So friends, we are going to get, so the inverse contrapositive is converse, that means just reverse. Negation Q implies P is the answer. That's it. Next friends, this determinant, what you can do here is, he said alpha, beta, gamma are different from 1 are the roots of this cubic equation, and this expression value is also given. Then we need to find. One thing you can do is, you can take alpha, beta, gamma common from each column. So alpha, beta, gamma, then you are left with 1 by 1 minus alpha, 1 by 1 minus beta, 1 by 1 minus gamma, 1, 1, 1, alpha, beta, gamma. In the next stage, what you can do is, my dear friends, column 2 minus column 1, column 3 minus column 1 you do, here and here you will get 0, and here beta minus alpha, gamma minus alpha. If you subtract here also beta minus alpha, gamma minus alpha you will get. The next, if you simplify, you are going to get, my dear friends, you will, in the next step you are going to take beta minus gamma common, next, sorry, beta minus alpha common, then gamma minus alpha common in this column, and divided by the rest of the things. If you expand, you are going to get, yeah, beta minus gamma by, you will get 1 minus alpha into 1 minus beta into 1 minus gamma, you are going to get, my dear friends. So if you take minus common, alpha minus beta, beta minus gamma, gamma minus alpha it is. So since alpha, beta, gamma are the roots of this equation, product of the roots is minus d by a. Whereas you take minus 1 common, this expression value is given as 25 by 2. Then what about this expression? Since for this equation, my dear friends, roots are alpha, beta, gamma, can I write like x minus alpha into x minus beta into x minus gamma into a, the same expression? Yes. Simply put x is equal to 1, my dear friends, you will get a into 1 minus alpha, 1 minus beta, 1 minus gamma will become a plus b plus c plus d. So 1 minus alpha into 1 minus beta into 1 minus gamma is nothing but a plus b plus c plus d by a, my dear friends. So if you substitute all these values, a plus b plus c plus d by a comes here, now you are going to get the answer finally, like, you see, minus gets cancelled, a gets cancelled, 25d by 2 times a plus b plus c plus d. That's what you are going to get. That's all. Next friends, the hyperbola touches y-axis and has its center and one of its foci. Here one center is 5 by 2 comma 20, right? One focus is 10 comma 24, and the length of its transverse axis, that means small a he is asking about, or 2a he is asking about. My dear friends, so you can find the second foci, this is s dash, because it is the midpoint, double and subtract, 5 minus 10 is minus 5, 40 minus 24 is 16. These are the 2 points. This is going to be, my dear friends, I can say the center. Fine. Now moreover, distance between these two, that is 15 square plus I can say 8 square, 8, 15, 17 is 17. 2AE is 17, my dear friends. Of course, AE is 17 by 2. That is one thing. When you know two foci and he said tangent is y-axis, say x is equal to 0, there is a result, my dear friends. The product of perpendicular drawn from the foci onto any tangent will be b square. The result is there for ellipse as well as hyperbola. What is the perpendicular distance of this onto y-axis? Mod x1, that is 5, and this perpendicular distance is 10, is equal to b square, my dear friends. So b square is equal to 50 we got. I want a square. So here, my dear friends, you know b square is equal to a square into e square minus 1. That is b square is equal to a square e square minus a square. Here, my dear friends, b square is given as 50, a square e square is 289 by 4 minus a square, my dear friends. So this is going to be 89 by 4 under root root 89 by 2 is going to be A, my dear friends. This is going to be semi-transverse axis. So, you can say, my dear friends, yeah. So, you can double it to get, so root 89 is the answer, because I have to, transverse axis length is 2A, right. A you will get like root 89 by 2, its double is going to be length of the transverse axis, okay. Next, my dear friends, you see this question, you try to simplify this integral, my dear friends. E power x square x ln 5 gets cancelled, e power x power 5 plus 1 into x power 9 by 1 plus x power 5 whole square dx. So, you just take 1 plus x power 5 as t, my dear friends. So, 5 x power 4 dx is going to be dt. So, friend, this is integral of e power t into, you see, 5 x power 4, provide 5 here and 1 by 5 here. So, 5 x power 4 dx will become dt. So, that x power 5 will be left t by t minus 1 by t square you have got. That is 1 by 5 into integral e power t into 1 by t square, that is 1 by t minus 1 by t square dt. You see, integral e power x into f of x plus f dash x, it is going to be e power x into f of x plus c, my dear friends. So, 1 by 5 into e power x power 5 plus 1 by x power 5 plus 1 plus c, this is the answer, okay. Next, my dear friends, R1, R2 are two relations on Z such that A related to B if and only if A minus B is divisible by 3. Are yaar, A minus B divisible by 3, that is that means A related to B if and only if A minus B is divisible by 3. This relation is equivalence. You know why? A minus A, 0 is divisible by 3, reflexive. Okay, for all A, of course, A is an integer, of course, other than 0, and of course, 0 minus 0, which is 0, 0 is also divisible by 3, that is also fine. If A minus B is divisible by 3 over integers, B minus A is also, yes. Similarly, so symmetric is also fine. Transitive, suppose A minus B divisible, B minus C divisible, it is 3k, this is 3l, you just add A minus C is 3 times k plus l, which is, this is also divisible by 3, my dear friends. So, I can say, my dear friends, this is going to be equivalence. Same logic, A minus B divisible by 4. So, both are equivalence relations, my dear friends. If R1, R2 are equivalence relations, okay, then which of the following two relations are equivalence? You see, if R1, R2 are equivalence, R1 intersection R2 is equivalent and R1 union R2 is also, means generally R1 union R2 may or may not be equivalent generally. So, we can say, my dear friends, union of these two I can say. So, second one you need to check R1 union R2, but if two equivalence relations intersection is always equivalence and union may or may not be equivalence, okay. Next, my dear friends, the probability of product of three numbers chosen from the set A is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on 20 is divisible by, I mean to say 4 is equal to, you see, my dear friends, out of 20 you need to select 3 elements. So, what is the chance you want? So, the product of 3 numbers is divisible by 4. So, we will take out the cases total minus, friends, you will get what is the case? Suppose out of these 20, 10 odd numbers, 10 even numbers. Suppose if all the 3 are odd, product cannot be divisible by 4. So, 10C3 case you remove, minus. Suppose 3 odd we have seen, maybe 2 odd, 1 even. If the even one is multiple of 4, we are okay. So, suppose I have chosen 2 odd and 1 even which is not multiple of 4, like 2, 6, maybe 10 kind of. So, out of these we can split into 2 cases again, 5, 5, 5 are multiples of 4 and 5 are not multiples of 2, 4n plus 2 kind of. If 2 odd are selected, that means 10C2 and 5C1, this case we will not get, the product is not multiple of 4. Suppose 2 odd, if you select here one even number divisible by 4, these are okay, that is okay for us. Or 2 odd case is done, 1 odd, 2 even, surely the product will be divisible by 4, 3 even divisible by 4. So this is the total one. You just compute this, you are going to get the answer, my dear friends. Okay, next. So this is the standard one, my dear friends. So 8 plus 3 root 7 whole power 20 is even integer, in fact odd integer, it's the standard result. You can also prove it, my dear friends. Suppose this is say 8 plus 3 root 7 whole power 20, you take it as, my dear friends, say I plus some capital F, where I is the integral part of this and F is the fractional part of x. So 0 less than, clearly this is not an integer, so strictly 0 less than F less than 1. Now you consider 8 minus 3 root 7 whole power 20. This is 64, my dear friend, this is root, you see 72, this is, so undoubtedly we can say, my dear friends, 8 minus 3 root 7, this is 72, 64, this is of course a negative number power 20, this is going to be, my dear friends, I can say a fraction number, this is root 74, that is this is 9 into 7, 63, this is root 64 minus root 63, they are almost same. So this is a minute number between 0, 0, 0, 1 kind of, when you raise to the power 20 you will get a fractional part only, I mean let it be f, small f, surely 0 less than f less than 1, it cannot be more than 1, it must be positive, fine. Now my dear friends, you just try to add these two, what will you get? I plus capital F plus small f is, if you just expand the binomial expansion you are going to get, you see first term is okay, that is 20C0, 8 power 20, 3 root 7 power 0 plus 20C2, 3 root 7 square, of course 8 power you can say this is going to be 8 power some 20 here, here 18 like this. So all the irrational powers you will get even, completely you are going to get even number here, of course. So integer here into 2 even number. So I plus f is going to be even integer. But once again, if you add these two, my dear friends, you are going to get 0 less than f plus f is less than 2. This is integer, this is even integer. So f plus f must also be integer, but between 0 to 2. So f plus f must be 1, my dear friends. I plus 1 is even integer, so I must be odd integer. So I must be odd integer, my dear friends. The integral part of this is even integer, he said, so this is false. And sum of these two is even integer, that is correct. So statement 2 is correct, statement 1 is false, my dear friends, that is all. Next, the minimum area of the circle which touches the parabolae. You see, one observation is, if you replace x by y, these are the things, that means one is mirror image of the other with respect to the line y is equal to x. So this is y is equal to x square plus 1 is this, suppose this is y is equal to x, you will get the other one like this, my dear friends. So he is asking the minimum area of the circle which touch the parabolas. Undoubtedly, of course, figure I couldn't draw in the perfect manner. Suppose there is such circle, my dear friends, this line is going to be the center, I can say. This line is going passes through the center, I can say, my dear friends. Okay. So yeah, you can just take like this for easiness. Okay. This is the line y is equal to x, symmetry will be there. So you see, the shortest distance between them will be along the common normal. So you just find the point where tangent is parallel to this line. Arey yaar, tangent slope derivative is 2x, this must be parallel to this line, means slope must be 1. So such point is x is 1 by 2. So for this point, my dear friends, when x is 1 by 2, what is y? 1 by 4 plus 1, which is 5 by 4. This is the point, my dear friends. This point is 1 by 2 comma 5 by 4. Now the radius is going to be this perpendicular distance itself, my dear friends, onto the line y is equal to x. 1 by 2 minus 5 by 4 by root 2, my dear friends. This is 2 by 4, which is 3 by 4 root 2. 3 by 4 root 2 is going to be the radius, my dear friends. He is asking the area, he is asking about minimum area, pi r square, 9 by 32. 9 pi by 32 is the answer, my dear friends. That's all. So, first observation is, yeah, these are, one is image of the other with respect to the line y is equal to x. If there is any circle, the minimum distance, shortest distance place, it will be like this. If you just find the point where shortest distance is, from that point to line you just find the radius, you are going to get the required radius. Okay, fine. Next, you see, my dear friends, given that matrix A is given, x, y, z value, something is given, A into adjoint A, my dear friends, det A into I, standard property. You just expand this. After expanding, you just use x, y, z value and this value, you will observe that det A value is going to be 29. So, the answer is 29 into I, third option is the answer. Just expand, find its determinant, use these two data, you will get det A is 29, third option is the answer. Next, my dear friends, the position vectors of P, Q, R with respect to R is an R. You see, my dear friends, P is 3 minus 2 1, Q is 1 3 4 and R is 2 1 minus 2. Okay. Then the distance of P from the plane OQR, you need to find the plane passing through OQR. How to find, friends? In a plane you are given 3 points, in the sense, prepare 2 vectors and take their cross product, which give the normal drs of this plane. So, one vector, that means I cap, j cap, k cap, OP bar will become 1 3 4, OR bar will become 2 1 minus 2, which is I cap into, my dear friends, minus 6 minus 4 is minus 10, minus j cap into, this is minus 2 minus 8 is minus 10, plus k cap into 1 minus 6 is minus 5. So, my dear friends, you are going to get the normal vector like minus 10 plus 10 minus 5. That means, if you just divide with minus 5, 2 minus 2 1, these are the normal drs. So, you can take the plane equation like 2x minus 2y plus z, and passing through one of the points put 0 0 0, it is 0. This is the plane, my dear friends. Once you find the plane equation, the distance of P from the plane, so P is this point, 6 plus 4 plus 1, 11 by, this is 3, this is. So, 11 by 3 is the perpendicular distance. That solves the standard and simple procedure. Next, my dear friends, limit extends to A minus, A is a positive quantity, suppose slightly less than A. So, this is A minus, means you can write like limit h tends to 0, A minus h. A is a positive quantity, if you subtract a bit also A minus h is positive itself, positive A minus h whole cube by A minus, you can write here step of A minus h by A whole cube. Here I have taken out modulus because a positive number, slightly if you move also we can say it is positive. So, this is limit h tends to 0, my dear friends. This is going to be, you can write like, okay, A minus h whole cube by A, no problem. This is, my dear friends, 1 minus h by A step cube. H is a small positive quantity, h by A is 0.00 something, 1 minus that means 0.999, whose step is 0, my dear friends. This part becomes 0, and here if you put h is equal to 0, you will get A cube by A, which is A square. That's all. A square is the answer. Simple. Next, you see, here is a functional relation f from r plus to r. I want the value of f of 1 by 2. When two variables are there, better you nullify one variable. Before that, put x1 y1, put x is equal to y is equal to 1, you will get f of 1 square is equal to f of 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. So that is f of 1 square minus f of 1 minus 6 equal to 0. So f of 1 must be, my dear friends, you can say this is 3 comma minus 2. 3 comma minus 2. Two possibilities are there. In fact, I want f of 1 by 2, take out one of the variables, simply put y is equal to 1, my dear friends. If you put y is equal to 1, f of x into f of 1, let it be there because there are two possibilities, is equal to f of x plus 2 into 1 by x plus this is 1 by 1, 1 plus 1, 2, my dear friends. So you just take f of x, bring here common, f of 1 minus 1 is equal to this is 2 by x plus 4. So friends, f of x is going to be, you see, 2 plus 4x by x into f of 1 minus 1. This is the one. So now f of 1 has two possibilities. I want f of 1 by 2. Put x is 1 by 2, my dear friends. This is 4 by 2 will become 2. 4 by 1 by 2 into f of 1 minus 1, which is 8 by f of 1 minus 1. So this is f of 1. If you take 3, 3 minus 1 is 2, 8 by 2 is 4, that option is not there. If you put minus 2 minus 1 minus 3 minus 8 by 3 option is there, you take this option, that is all. So we see, as we require f of 1, first I could find f of 1, then nullify one of the variables like y, then you will get a relation in x itself. Next, you see, my dear friends, if you see this particular one, this is going to be sigma r is equal to 1 to n, this is going to be, you say, integral 0 to 1 x power r minus 1 by r dx, this is given. If you just expand, my dear friends, 1 by n into limit n tends to infinity kind of, you will observe that put x is equal to 0, r is equal to 0, what will you get, my dear friends? R is equal to 1. If you put x power 0, 1 by 1 plus x, r is equal to 2, x by, my dear friends, 2 plus x square by 3 and so on, you are going to get, say, up to n, my dear friends. So up to infinite, of course, this is x power n minus 1 by n you are going to get, and its integral 0 to 1 you have to apply dx. Of course, we take up to infinity. So this is x plus x square by 2 means this is 2 square plus x cube by 3, 3 square and so on. This is x power n by n square. Of course, we take this 10 to infinite. In the same way, if you do, my dear friends, here you are going to get x power 2r minus 1 means x power r is equal to 1 means x power 0 by 1, no, you will get x power 1 by 1 square plus x cube by 3 square plus x power 5 by 5 square and so on. This part you are going to get, my dear friends. Now what you can do is a is equal to, you just, you see, he is going to get only odd suffixes related one. B, in the rest of the things, my dear friends, if you take, you see, 1 by 4 common, you can say like, you see here again x by 2 square, no, 1 by 2 square if you take, you will get x by 1 square plus here x power 5 will be, right, x power 4 will become x square again and so on, you are going to get, my dear friends, which is going to be again, this is a. So same part you will get like, you just consider a is equal to separate even suffixes, I mean odd suffixes, plus from the remaining, if you take 1 by 2 square common, you are going to get this part as going to be like again a. So my dear friends, this is 3/4 of a is equal to b, 3a is equal to 4b. Just work out properly. If 3a is equal to 4b, 4b plus b, 5b by b is going to be 5, my dear friends. Okay. Next, the mean of 1, 2 and so on is 4, then their variance is 5.2, then a plus b. Arey yaar, mean of these 5 items 4 means sum of these 4 items is 20, this is 5 items, right, 5 fours are 20. Actually here 9 is covered, so a plus b must be 11, my dear friends. This is the only such option. I no need to work out with this. That is the answer. If you just want, you can also apply variance. You will get some relation connecting to a square plus b square. It's a familiar question. We have done many questions of this kind, so you can solve it. Okay. Next, my dear friends, you see m greater than n. So n here, m, n are positive integers and n greater than n. Then the number of solutions of this in 0 to 2 pi. Arey yaar, why can't we write like mod sin x by mod cos x is equal to m by n, which is mod tan x is equal to m by n. M by n is less than 1. In the interval 0 to 2 pi, you just try to draw the graph of mod tan x. 0 to pi by 2, this is pi, this is going to be this negative part comes up, then again this is, my dear friend, this is pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, my dear friends. So this part is negative, which comes up. So when you are given mod, this is the graph of mod tan x is equal to some number which is less than 1, means how many solutions will be? You see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 solutions are possible in the interval 0 to 2 pi. That's all. Next, find the common terms in the following sequence. You see, in this, you see, it's a familiar question, but the problem is it is difficult to find the first common term. You just write the general term a plus, this is going to be, I can say 66a you take, or d, something common difference is, suppose a here is the general term here. So a plus n minus 1 into d, or nth term will be like this, suppose in this way, is equal to, here you can say 17 plus, you can say 65b, suppose. The nth term will be in this format in both this. For some values of a and b, these two must be same. I am just trying to find the first common term. From this, my dear friend, you can say this is going to be 20 plus 66a minus 60 is equal to 65b, my dear friends. So you can write b is equal to, you see all are integers, b must be integer. You can write 65a plus a plus 20 by 65. So you can write, my dear friends, a plus 20 by 65. So my dear friends, to get b integer, a must be chosen minimum 45. So if you choose a is 45, my dear friends, if you put a is 0 first term, a is equal to 1 second term, a 45 means it is going to be 46th term. Array, you can just put 45 here. So 37 plus, you can say 66 into 45, which is 37 plus 33 into 90 it is. Okay. So my dear friends, this is going to be 2970 plus 37, 7, 3007, this is 3007 is the first common term in both the things. You can also find b here. Now we can say this is a plus 1, no, a plus 1 is going to be b. So that is 46. Now after that, you see what is the next common difference? Here common difference 66, 65, product of this, these are relatively prime, right? So suppose in AP has one common difference 3, other 4 means they will reflect again, 3 4's LCM is 12, after 12 they reflect. Here 65 into 66 itself, I can say 33 into 130. 4290. After this plus 4290 is the next term, which is in 7000s. Next, if you add that, it exceeds 10,000. That means there will be only 2 common terms, my dear friends, in these 2 APs. Okay. Next, you see, this is a complex number related question. A, B, C are 3 points lying on the organoid plane. Now a point P is taken on the circumcircle of triangle ABC. Suppose, my dear friend, this is the circumcircle of triangle ABC. Say ABC and PA, BC are in order. Suppose P is here, my dear friends. Okay. Now, right, PABC says that PA dot BC is equal to PC dot AB. Okay, right. Now, my dear friends, we can say A is given as omega square, B is 2I omega, C is we can say minus 4. This is you can take P, a complex number P you can take. Now, my dear friends, it is there form a cyclic quadrilateral. So, left hand thumb rule, that is this is the rule we can say, my dear friends. So, you just apply Coni's theorem application, the angle here by using this result, my dear friends, you will get P plus 4, P minus of this, P plus 4 by P minus omega square multiplied by here you can say this is 2I omega minus omega square by 2I omega plus 4. This product, by using this result, this becomes the angle between them is equal to 180. So, e power I pi cos pi plus I sin pi, you will get minus 1. If you just simplify this, my dear friends, as you know properties of omega and this, after simplification you will get P is equal to minus 2I omega. You just do the simplification. Now, he is asking about the midpoint of PB. So, friend, this is minus 2I omega, midpoint of these two is 0. 0 is going to be Z, he is asking about mod Z square. Mod 0 square is 0. So, 0 is the answer, my dear friends. So, you need to apply Coni's theorem carefully. For that, we have to use this result here. Okay. Next, you see this function, friends, n1, n2 are the number of maxima and minima of f of x. So, you can do best thing is rather derivative, you try to draw the graph, my dear friends. This is minus 1, minus 2, you can say 1 and this is 2. Okay. So, friends, x plus 1 whole cube, its derivative is 3 into x plus 1 whole square, which is always positive, it is increasing itself. So, at minus 2 you will get minus 1 and at minus 1 this becomes 0, increasing. Then minus 1 to 1, if you put, my dear friends, minus 1, this becomes 1 minus 1, 0. If you put 1, it is again 0. At 0 it is minus 1, it comes down, then again it is this. Then again 1 to 2, if you put 1 it is 0, if you put 2 this is minus 1. This is the graph, my dear friends. Undoubtedly it is having local maximum at 2 points, local minimum at 1 points. So, 2 plus 1, 3 is the answer, my dear friends. That is all. Next, you see, friends, there are n line segments excluding AB and AC. How many triangles possible means, out of these n plus 2 line segments, whenever you select 2, my dear friends, you suppose you have selected this, this is the triangle. For every selection of 2 out of these n plus 2, you will get a triangle. So, this is going to be, he said in the way, in the problem it is 66. So, this is n plus 2 into n plus 1 is equal to 132. 132 is 12 into 11, right? Yes, n plus 2 is 12. So, n is equal to 10, my dear friends. Value of n is 10. Next, you see simplification based, x is nothing but, my dear friends, log 5 base 3, you can write 3 power minus 1 comes here. This is log 7 cube it is, this is 5 cube, 3 comes and gets cancelled. This is log 7 square it is, here base is 3, you can write 3 power 6. So, 6 by 2 comes out here, friends, minus 1 log 5 base 3 into log 7 base 5 into log 3 base 7, 6 by 2 you will get here, right. So, this is minus 3 into, so all these get cancelled, friends, because log A base B can be written as log A by log B, log 3, log 5, log 7 gets cancelled. In the same way, you can simplify y also, my dear friends. Say, you can see this is 25 power, this is 289, my dear friends. 289 is 17 square, this comes as 25 power 3 by 2 into log 11 base 17. This is 17 power 1 by 2. This comes 1 by 2 into log 17 base 28. This is log, you see 11 cube this is I guess 28 square. So 2 by 3 comes here, right. So that, my dear friends, 20, you see 11 base 17, 17 base 28, this is 28 base 11, all these get cancelled. You will get 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 2 by 3. 2 gets cancelled. This is 5, my dear friends, 5, because 25 power 1 by 2 is 5. So this is going to be, V bar is going to be minus 3 I cap plus 5 J cap. So V bar square magnitude 25 plus 9, 34 is the answer, my dear friends. That's all. Next, this is another question, functional relation, f dash of 0 he is talking about. You just find, my dear friends, f of, you put x0, y0, what will you get? F of 0 is equal to f of 0 plus f of 0 minus 0 minus 1. So these two get cancelled, you will get f of 0 is equal to, this implies 1, first observation. Second observation, f dash of 0 means, my dear friends, limit h tends to 0, f of 0 plus h minus f of 0 by h, which is, my dear friend, by this definition, limit h tends to 0, f of 0 plus f of h minus 2 into 0 into h minus 1 by h, my dear friends. So I can say this is anyhow 0, we can say f of 0 is clear 1, 1 minus 1 got cancelled, you will get limit h tends to 0 f of h by h, my dear friends. He has given f dash of 0 as minus sin alpha. It is like f of 0 is almost, we can say here, you just see, this is f of x plus h is f of x plus f of h minus f of 2 into 0 into h minus 1 by h, my dear friends. F of 0 is already 1, f of h by h we got. So f of 0 by h kind of it is. Now f dash of 0 is given as minus sin x. So why don't you take like, you see, rather here, my dear friends, you can take here like, yeah, so f dash of x you try to take. F dash of x means, you see, f of x, put y is equal to 0, my dear friends, f of x plus h minus f of x by h, limit h tends to 0. We already got f of 0 is equal to 1. So which is limit h tends to 0, this definition, f of x plus h minus f of x is f of h minus 2xh minus 1 by h, my dear friends. So I can say this is limit h tends to 0, this becomes minus 2x plus f of h minus 1 by h. So this is independent of h, minus 2x. You can say 0 by 0 now, by L'Hospital's rule, this is f dash of 0. F dash of 0 in the sense minus 2x, f dash of 0, it is given as some number minus sin alpha, my dear friends. Now how can you take f of x, my dear friends? F of x you can take like minus x square minus sin alpha x plus some number k, but f of 0 is, I can say, is 1. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 1. So f of x is this, my dear friends. Now what can you say about f of f dash of 0? F dash of 0 is minus sin alpha, that is minus sin square alpha plus sin square alpha plus 1. So you are going to get 1 as the answer in final, right? Next, friends, this integral is simple. You need to split into cases. Integral 1 to 2, fractional part of x is x minus step x, x minus 1, because for 1 to 2 number step x is 1 power 1 dx, plus integral 2 to 3, fractional part of x is x minus step x, in 2 to 3 step x is 2 whole square dx plus integral 3 to 4 step x is 3 x minus step x whole power 3 dx plus integral 4 to 5 x minus 4 whole power 4 dx. It is simple, my dear friends, you just do apply and simplify. It is a polynomial kind of, you can easily do, right. Next, you see there are two lines, my dear friends, whose direction ratios are. Consider the lines. If a line L whose direction ratios are 2 to 1 intersect the first line and second line at A and B, then the distance of AB. Friend, there are already two lines. You can take a general point on the first line like 3t plus 7, 2t plus 5, this is t plus 3, whereas the second point is, you see, 2t plus 1, 4, so okay, 2 lambda plus 1 plus 4 lambda minus 1 plus 3 lambda minus 1. So, for some value of t of lambda, this may be the required line whose DRs are 2 to 1. And you just find, my dear friends, 3t minus 2 lambda, 7 minus 1 is 6, 2t minus 4 lambda, 5 plus 1 is 6, this is t minus 3 lambda plus 4. These are the DRs of this AB line, but given these are proportionate to 2 to 1, my dear friends. You just equate these two, you will get one relation in t and lambda, equate these two, one relation in t and lambda. If you solve, you will get lambda value, t value. If you substitute t here, you will get this point, lambda here, you will get this point, then you can find AB. Just it's working, my dear friends, you can do this, okay. Next, you see in this question, you see x is a natural number, x less than or equal to 10. So, that means 1, 2, 3 and so on 10 it is. P by P comma Q both belong to A. Tan alpha is given P by Q, my dear friends, okay. Tan beta is given tan 3 alpha, in the sense you can take 2 beta is equal to 3 alpha, 2 beta minus 2 alpha is alpha, 2 into beta minus alpha is alpha. Now, my dear friends, I guess here beta minus alpha must be. So, you can take tan of beta minus alpha by 1, 2 tan of this, tan I am taking tan 2 theta, 2 tan theta by 1 minus tan square theta is equal to tan alpha, my dear friends. But tan alpha is given as rational number P by Q, rational number where P comma Q are integers from between 1 to 10. And he has also given tan beta is a rational number. You just take tan of beta minus alpha is a rational number. So, you just take tan of beta minus alpha, a rational number t, my dear friends. Yeah, this is like 2t by 1 minus t square is equal to some, you say p by q kind of, my dear friends, or x kind of a rational number. So, my dear friends, if you just apply here, if it is to be rational, you have to get a condition like p by q, you write, my dear friends, p by q. You just prepare a condition here. So, its discriminant must be perfect square if you want to get t as rational, or else otherwise, if I guess if tan beta rational, tan alpha rational, tan of beta minus alpha should also be rational. This data is enough. If tan beta rational, tan alpha rational, tan of beta minus alpha is also rational. So, 2t by 1 minus t square is equal to p by q for some rational number t. You see, my dear friends, p minus pt square is equal to 2qt. So, pt square minus plus 2qt minus p equal to 0. Friends, its discriminant must be a perfect square. Discriminant means b square minus 4ac. This must be a perfect square, my dear friends. That means 4 into p square plus q square must be perfect square because t is rational. So, p r should be taken between 1 to 10 only, integers. So, the possibility is 3, 4 one possibility, 4, 3 other possibility. There are only 2 possible pairs for ordered pair PQ. Right, friends, that's all about this paper. Bit lengthy, bit time taking, but most of the questions are comfortable, right?